Confronted a senator about the Affordable Care Act. As I said, health care. Let's watch.
I could tell you 3 members of my family, including me, that would be dead, and homeless if it was not for ACA.
Test, 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 test.
Senator Tom Cotton's town hall happening right now. This moment just happened a moment ago. A voter confronted a senator about the Affordable Care Act. As I said, health care. Let's watch.
I could tell you 3 members of my family, including me, that would be dead, and homeless if it was not for ACA. Got a husband dying and we can't afford. Let me tell you something. If you can get us better coverage than this, go for it.
All right, wait, I'm making a note. Hold on, Lonnie. I'm making a note. There was something I wanted to write down. How are you doing this morning, everybody? Just stay with me. Better coverage than this. Hold on, that was a Tom Cotton town hall. Okay, I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Coming to you live from Ellijay, North Georgia. We are in the North Georgia mountains. We are fortunate enough not to have to be in the hotel lobby this morning having to watch CNN. That we're fortunate enough not having to do that. Folks, I have been talking about the OFA. Now I have been talking, and look, we're not going to take our time this morning. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. I'm not going to take my time this morning to discuss why you should watch this show, why we would like for you to tune into this show, and why we think you ought to tell your friends. But I'm telling you, we have been talking. You can email me 706-889-9700. A lot of the stuff that I do is because you out there send me research. You get involved, you research things, you send me emails, text messages, 706-889-9700 or chief@fetyournews.com. We have been talking about the OFA, okay? The Organization for Action there, Obama, Hillary Clinton's in there, MoveOn.org, SaveMyCare.org, which is actually a side business of OFA. We have been talking about that for weeks and weeks. We've been talking about that. We're going to get further in. Now, this lady, first of all, I'm not going to make fun of anybody, but she said they would be dead or homeless. Which one is it, lady? Would you have 3 members dead or homeless? Which one was it, Lonnie?
No, she said and.
Oh, and homeless? She did say that?
Yeah.
Huh? Dead and homeless. Didn't have the money to bury them. If it wasn't for the ACA, if it wasn't for Obamacare, the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, they're not saying Obamacare out there. They're saying the ACA. Did you notice the lady said the ACA? Did you pick that up? She said the ACA, Affordable Care Act. Now, I don't know about you, but most people I know, when you say ACA, they don't know what that means. I'm serious. Well, are you on the ACA? I don't know. Let me check with my wife. I'm serious. There's people, when you say, well, do you understand the Affordable Care Act? What are you talking about? Hey, what do you think of Obamacare? Now you got my attention. I will tell you, with all the polling out there right now, I would like for you to poll people and say, what do you reference first, ACA or Obamacare? They're going to tell you Obamacare. This lady's very angry. And I know if I was in the room and I was very angry and I wanted to yell at Tom Cotton, my senator, and I wanted to say 3 of my family members would have died and been homeless because I didn't have insurance and we needed insurance. And if it wasn't for President Obama and Obamacare, they would be dead today. But she said ACA. Now, I don't know how important that is, but she said the ACA. Did she not? Did she say ACA, Lonnie? She never said Obamacare once. Just think about that. So I wonder if she wasn't out there ready to go with ACA, the Affordable Care. I'm just saying little things you need to pick up on, okay? Second, Here is the number one thing Republicans need. This lady said it all. She said every bit of it. All the fighting and carrying on at these town halls. This lady said it all. I got to give it to her because she looked at Tom Cotton and said, if you can give us better coverage than this, go for it. And folks, that's exactly what the Republicans have to pick up and go with. We can give you better coverage than this. Go for it, she said. Go for it if you can do that. We can. The Republicans can. Just relax. Now, this is manufactured reality. The media, all right? Who was it on TV calls them the left stream media now, not mainstream, the left stream. Somebody called them this morning on one of the shows I was listening to this morning. But the media is manufacturing reality. They want you, and I'm serious, this is mind control in the worst way. Hey, Bob, you going bowling tonight? I don't know. I was thinking about it. Well, it's the league finals. You know, you need to be there. Well, you know, I was okay, but I'm all stressed out over this Obamacare thing. Why? Well, I don't know. TV just keeps telling me there's a major problem in these town halls and I'm stressed out. Well, how do you know you're stressed out? Well, I read an article the other day and statistics say Americans are stressed out since Donald Trump became president. You had no damn idea that you were concerned about Obamacare, and you had no idea you were stressed out until statistics came out and polling came out, and the media kept playing over and over and over, CNN and all of them, these massive rallies where Americans are just tore up. Manufactured reality. Stay away from it, folks. They're trying to get into your head. This lady says it all. ACA, pick it up. Now, if you don't believe that they are trying to manufacture, every day when I come on this show, I know I'm not going to get to everything now. Every day when I come on this show, now from 6 to 7, I like to tell you, now, all right, what's her name? Minka Brzezinski, okay, on Morning Joe. What do I tell you if you watch? I tell you she's so stressed out she can't take it. She's having a nervous breakdown. I tell you that every day, right? At 6 o'clock, I put it on. And she is just, oh my God, she is stressed out. I told you yesterday. I tell you every day. She wasn't there Monday. Not because of President's Day, man. She can't take it. Her nerves are shot. Well, yesterday, I watched this morning. They don't even touch it. They don't go close to this rail. But yesterday, she tells the truth. Manufactured reality. Play that clip there of her telling the truth yesterday.
Exactly what he said he's going to do.
Well, and I think that the dangerous, edges here are that he's trying to undermine the media, trying to make up his own facts. And it could be that while unemployment and the economy worsens, he could have undermined the messaging so much that he can actually control exactly what people think. And that is our job.
That is our job. That is our job to control what you think. That is our job to manufacture facts. That is our job to bring out fake polling statistics. That is our job. How dare Trump look as though he may take that away when we're the ones that's supposed to be manufacturing the reality that you live in. Folks, Obamacare, let me get you something. Guess what? I'm going to share something with you. I was here 6 years ago. Obamacare came into effect 6 years ago. I'm going to share something with you also. My good friend over there, Lonnie, he was here 6 years ago. I'm here today. He's here today. If you're watching this show, obviously you made it. Now, I'm not going to make light. Now, I want to say this before I move on the health care, okay? I want to say this to you. Now, when they were trying to manufacture the reality of Obamacare, okay, 6 years ago, 6 and 7 years ago, they did polling, and polling said 70%, and I want to be transparent here, they said 70%, okay, of Americans feel something needed to be done with health care. I was in the 70%. I was definitely in the 70%. It's a runaway train. We'll get lost in the details, but you had states that only would allow the insurance commissioners, and the states would only allow two carriers, health insurance carriers. Some states one. I mean, you know, associations can't buy in bulk to get a good health care rate insurance for their employees, like the big corporations, which would help small business, so on and so forth. It was a mess. It was something needed to be done. I was in the 70%, but Obamacare is not what needed done. Now, they forced you by the penalty. A lot of people did get on Obamacare. OFA, these are manufactured. They want to manufacture your reality. And these town halls, you have people coming out. Well, these are real people. Well, obviously real. There you have real concerns. These are real people with real concerns. Now, go to MoveOn.org's website. Okay? It's called, right on the top, Resistance Recess. Resistance Recess. From now until February 26th, members of the new Congress are back home for their first recess. Let's raise our voices. Find an action. That's the top. Find an action right there. Find it. You can click on that and find. They are pushing Resistance Recess. This is all manufactured, folks. There are a couple people showing up. And they're going into areas, here's where they're getting the real people. They're going into areas that there are people with Obamacare that you can find that voted for Donald Trump. And they are whipping them into a frenzy of what's about to happen to them, okay? Enter your zip code. Will you fellow constituents and attend a resistance recess action near you? Will you join? Will you join fellow constituents and attend a resistance recess action near you? Enter your zip code and view the map to search for an event near you. If you don't see an event with your member of Congress listed, click Create a New Event below and add your event. We'll help recruit fellow constituents to join you. What the hell? They will help recruit them for you. They will get out and whip everybody into a damn frenzy. They will make sure there's somebody in the crowd that says ACA, because Obamacare has been tested. You understand, they've done the testing. The word Obamacare, it does not test like they need it to. ACA, oh, that one tests. Affordable, that word is good. Care, act. They're taking your health care, not Obamacare. Folks, it's a mind manipulation thing like you've never seen before, and they're trying to create your reality that's not out there. Your life, for the most part, since Donald Trump said he will protect and defend the Constitution, okay, of the United States, unlike his predecessor, your life hasn't changed. Just the media wants you to believe you can't go bowling tonight because you're stressed out over Obamacare, and statistically, Americans are stressed. What the hell else are you going to believe if you keep listening to this stuff? All right. Getting sidetracked. Yeah, they'll help recruit some people for you. Yeah, recruit some people. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, folks, now you go over to the OFA. Now, that's MoveOn.org. I can't stay on this all morning long. I'll get back to it in a minute. Where's the OFA? All right. They have their events. Okay. The OFA. Your voice can change a room. All right. Now, these are all George Soros, John Cheese and Pepperoni Podesta Pizza, John Pizza Pepperoni Pizza Podesta, George Soros, Hillary Clinton. I'm telling you right now, the OFA, all right, get involved, all right. Find out more about the OFA. The OFA is committed to mobilizing and training the next generation of progressive organizers and leaders. Folks, they pushed this group in an area into being cared for by the government, and now they want to lead this group to believe the government's going to take something from them. Pay attention. This is all a setup, all right, folks? West Virginia, they're playing commercials in West Virginia. Why? Because West Virginia is the Appalachians, unless you know about Eastern Kentucky, West Virginia, Western Virginia they're very poor regions in the Appalachians there. Guess what? A lot of them did sign up for Obamacare. Guess what Obamacare did? He killed all the jobs in the damn state. Oh, coal miners, go home. Get on Obamacare, welfare, all of you. We want you dependent. Well, let me tell you something. Donald Trump's going to put those coal miners back to work, and coal miner health care benefits are actually a lot better than Obamacare. Now, I don't want to get sidetracked, but they went into these poor regions, or these regions in the country that Obama, if you look at the beginning of these regions and see what killed their jobs, see what killed their area. Well, I thought there was an economic resurgence in this country. No, not in many of these regions, okay? And then you got Affordable Care Act. But this is, what is this here? This is the OFA. The OFA is committed to mobilizing and training the next generation of progressive organizers and leaders. Now, what I want to do is I want to play a 2-minute video. This is a spin of the OFA. They're all over the place. So don't forget that lady said the ACA. She never once said Obamacare, okay? Trust me. I mean, most good old rednecks in where I come from, all right, in Arkansas, most of us country folk, we real quick with Obamacare. That we haven't actually understood yet what the ACA is when they bring that up. We get a little confused, but we understand Obamacare. I like that she said the ACA. Anyhow, and they would be dead and homeless. This is a 2-minute video spin-off. This is tied into MoveOn.org. Hillary's out there. Oh, she's tweeting. Oh, if you can't stand it, the heat, get out of Congress. That's from Hillary Clinton. As she and Cheese Pizza Podesta and George Soros, MoveOn.org, OFA, okay, organizing for action. Oh, that's Obama, President Obama. This is the shadow government. Now they have this thing called Save My Care. It's the same as the OFA. It comes out of it. This is a 2-minute video. Watch it. Watch this, and you'll understand these town halls. Okay?
When members of Congress go back to their districts, they have to face their constituents.
We're afraid of losing our health care.
I am scared that I will not have health insurance.
They have to face you.
Constituents in districts across the country.
From Nebraska to Pennsylvania to Indiana.
Constituents packed the Pewaukee Library.
More people showed up than they planned for.
There were hundreds of people here.
A crowd of 1,000.
They're fed up. They want to know what's going to happen.
We're going to repeal the Affordable Care Act.
I support repealing.
How many times did you vote to repeal without knowing what the replacement would be?
Don't let them dismiss your voice.
Are you a political operative?
Absolutely not. I'm a nurse. I'm a mom.
I grew up right down the road. I went to school with your kids.
And don't let them hide from the issue.
Please be sure you hear all your constituents. He snuck out early.
Tell them what the Affordable Care Act means to you and 30 million Americans who will lose coverage if it's repealed.
There are people who have cancer that have to have that coverage to make sure they don't die.
I've had a pre-existing condition. I've had breast cancer. I am going to potentially lose my health insurance.
My daughter has a genetic disease. She is now able to get the medication she needs to save her life.
I can't put all my trust in someone saying, we're going to make a plan, but we've had 6 years and we don't have a plan.
Exactly.
You pledge to vote the way your constituents ask you to vote and not party lines.
Thank you. We need this Affordable Care Act. These people need this Affordable Care Act. Our young people need the Affordable Care Act.
Call your senators and representatives. Tell them to save my care.
Progressive political ad enlists nurses to save Obamacare, okay? The Save My Care. They don't say Obamacare. With the Republican Congress poised to repeal Obamacare, but not on the verge of coming up, with a replacement. They want you to believe there's no replacement, okay? A new coalition called Save My Care is running ads. Save My Care, right there. They're running ads in Alaska, okay, Arizona, okay, Maine, Nevada, Tennessee, West Virginia, designed to pressure Republicans and try to save Obamacare. No plan features 4 nurses. Okay, this is features 4 nurses, 1 doctor warning Congress what will happen. Save My Care demands no repeal without a replacement. All right? It's a progressive coalition, warns of repealing health care, not Obamacare. They talk about repealing health care, okay? They will not discuss repealing Obamacare. I'm going to get more into that. SaveMyCare.org after this break. I'm telling you right now, this is a manufactured, this is all choreographed with Hillary Clinton, Cheese Pizza Podesta, MoveOn.org. Did you notice the CNN report? Did you notice the CNN report was boxed in a MoveOn.org frame, okay? Boxed in a MoveOn.org frame when we played that opening. Mazinka Brzezinski, World Order family, her and her World Order family. Her dad was Secretary of State there. Oh, by the way, Rex Tillerson's going down to Mexico to tell them how it works. We'll go over that later. Mazinka, whatever, Brzezinski, her nerves are shot. She said yesterday, that's our job. Folks, they're trying to manufacture and manipulate you with mind control. This is all in the works. George Soros, the whole works. This is it. I've been telling you for weeks about the OFA. For weeks. Now this morning it's coming out on some networks, right? And it's coming out for a day or two. And your congressmen are going home. Just take the heat and go back. Because remember what the lady said. If you could do better than this, go for it. I'm your host. Oh, wait, let me tell you a couple things we got going on at 9 o'clock. The 6th Congressional District. This is a big deal. And I'll tell you why. HHS Secretary, obviously we're talking about Tom Price from the 6th Congressional District of Georgia. We're talking about, he is now HHS Secretary. Now the thing that makes them really nervous is Obama gave Kathleen Sebelius, remember then HHS Secretary Kathleen Sebelius, gave the Affordable Care Act, gave the HHS Secretary an enormous amount of power. So when Donald Trump says this is moving rapidly, you got to remember, the first thing they've done, if you watch what Trump is doing for all the spastic and just out there doing things, that's not true in this administration. Let me clear this up for you, okay? Tom Price has been there a couple weeks. Now, I will guarantee you the very first thing that Tom Price is doing within the administration and his cabinet are looking at all the things he can do like now because of the power given to the HHS Secretary without Congress and without the Senate. You see, that's what's got him really on edge right now is Tom Price has a lot of power from Georgia, the new secretary, because Kathleen Sebelius was given that power. Anyhow, the 6th Congressional District, 18 candidates. We're starting this morning interviewing those candidates. Let's see what they think about going to Washington in the middle of these times that we're at in this country and actually replacing Tom Price there in the 6th Congressional District. We start this morning at 9 o'clock, our interview with Kurt Wilson. Kurt Wilson's a Republican. He qualified as a Republican on the ticket with 18. He will be our first interview this morning at 9 o'clock. Candidate for the 6th District, that's at 9. At 10 o'clock, at 9:30, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Fannin County. Stay with me. I'm talking about that Fannin County court case yesterday. Got a couple thoughts on that. What else do we have? Oh, we got everything. Oh, transgenders. How could I forget the he-she's? How could I forget that? I can't forget that, right? I mean, they're all confused. Thank God God, school's on winter break, or they'd be walking around like zombies, not knowing what bathroom to go in, huh? All right, we'll talk about that. Remember that up in Fannin County? Thousands showed up. Thousands showed up. Remember that? We're going to talk about that. Hey, I'm a states' right guy. Whoo! When it comes to state rights, that's all Donald did. Another campaign promise right after the other side of this break. Hell, we got a little bit of everything. Oh, Lonnie said he wants to chime in on the health care. Yeah, we're going to give him a shot. He said, hey, I want to chime in on it. So we're going to give it to him right on the other side of this break. Lonnie, take us to break. What the hell are you waiting on?
It's a new year. New you at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. Ring in the new year with huge deals on a brand new Ford. Right now, get exceptional offers like 0% financing plus a $1,500 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford F-150 XLT. Or get 0% financing plus a $1,000 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford Explorer. Make your resolution a reality during the New Year, New You sales event at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper, home of the Schottenkirk Customer Guarantee. Visit us online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia: Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
In the first step to rip apart our health care with no plan to replace it.
They don't have a plan to ensure the 30 million people who will lose their health care.
No plan to cover pre-existing conditions like cancer.
No plan to keep insurance rates from skyrocketing.
Everybody's costs will go up.
It's going to cause pain.
Repealing health care with no plan to replace it is going to hurt all of us. Tell Congress we need a plan that protects our care.
.org is running, that's one of the many commercials that they're running, Save My Healthcare. You notice they're stripping away, a lot of them, the ACA, the Affordable Care, and they're stripping away. Save My Care is stripping everything away and just calling it health care. Okay, they're devastating my health care with no plan to replace it. That's ridiculous. Now the thing is the media will help them. This is in the last 30 days, they're trying to create your reality. I'm serious. Stop and think. I asked you yesterday, stop and think what's changed in your life, what's changed in your job, your life, and they keep wanting you to believe that they're getting ready to devastate your family. Republicans are. If they actually put you back to work, now EPA is protections now. They're going to, the Democrats, they have these words, they're going to protect you, okay? So the talking points they have out there, and the media is right there with them. Now, the media is fake for the most part. They're fake. Donald Trump is correct. If you watch this 30 minutes this morning and you do not feel the enemy is the media is an enemy of the people, if you don't see this and what they're creating, all right, trying to create. Now, I've asked Lonnie, okay, about health care. He said, you know, I'd like to make a comment. Lonnie, I can't give you 30 minutes because I got a guest at 9 o'clock. So have you prepared your remarks?
I wasn't sleeping.
Okay, are you ready to go? What do you think, Lonnie?
Well, I guess my first...
Is your mic on?
Yeah, it's
okay.
Actually a question. You're talking about healthcare, right? This is what your morning monologue and everything has been about. So why are you talking about insurance?
Why am I not?
why are you talking about insurance? You want to talk about the ACA and affordable health care? Why are you talking about insurance? If you want affordable health care, if you want to socialize health care, then socialize health care. The government just wants to say, oh, well, we're capitalists, so we can't put companies out of business. So instead of socializing health care, they went after the insurance companies, and they're socializing insurance. They're not socializing health care.
Wait a minute, so they're socializing insurance?
Yeah, they're not even talking about health care. If you want to talk about health care, then talk about health care. If you want to talk about insurance, then talk about insurance. They're two different things. Because health care is health care and insurance is business. You look at the 1920s, was the roaring 20s, as they said, right before the Great Depression. We had, 106 million people in America?
Right.
2014, the last census said we had 319 million. 319 million people in America. So
they can't hear you. You have no mic, they say.
I'm bumping on mine. Let me get a little closer. Anyway, so like I was saying, so you look at the 1920s. They call it the Roaring 20s. Right before the Great Depression, we had roughly 100 million people, like 106. And then you go to 2014 in the last census, and you're looking at 319 million people in America. And what I can't understand is, if you want to talk about healthcare, then talk about healthcare. But if you want to talk about insurance, then talk about insurance. Healthcare is healthcare and insurance is business. If you want to socialize healthcare, then go for it. I mean, I'd love to have social healthcare. I would love the concept. It'd be great to where if you want to socialize healthcare, then you're not talking about insurance. You're actually getting rid of insurance companies, and you put all citizens in a pot, and okay, well, I got to go to the hospital this month, and I wind up paying maybe $100 for my entire hospital visit, stay, and everything. But so did every other person in America, paid $100 for that month. Or, maybe less, maybe $50 for the month. And then everybody gets health care. Well, that's great, and the idea of social health care is awesome, and I would love to have social health care. But stop talking about the insurance companies if you want to do that. Now, that has its own problems, because with 320 million people in America, you socialize healthcare, everybody starts paying $50 a month and goes to the hospital whenever they want. You're looking at, I think it's like 5.5 thousand hospitals in America versus 320 million people. Your average hospital has 50, 100 beds, 300 beds? And that's hospitals, that's not doctors' offices. But here's another problem. Okay, you put everybody in a pot and everybody pays $50 a month, and they go to the hospital and go to the doctor and do this and that and the other. Why do people become doctors? You look at the little kid and his mom says, oh, you should study real hard so you can be a doctor. Well, why do they say that? Why? Because doctors make a lot of money. They do. That's why we pay $4,000 for a consultation. That's exaggeration. That's hyperbole. But my point is what started this whole conversation? Everybody said, okay, I'm paying way too much for my health care. I just went and got an x-ray and paid $800. Holy crap. Okay, well, answer. Let's socialize health care. And again, get away from the insurance, because I don't know why the government says, let's socialize health care, here's an insurance plan. But get off of that and talk socialized health care. Okay, that's great. 300 million people are paying $50 a month against 6,000 hospitals. Each of those hospitals has, 10 doctors, we'll say? That's a low number, I would think. But and that's not nurses, that's not medical professionals, that's not CNAs, that's not RNs. I'm a PhD doctor, MD. Okay, well, where's your money going then? Your money's going to the government, by the way, not to the doctor. So how many of those parents are you going to have saying, oh, Billy, you should become a doctor so that you can take care of me when I get old? No. And we're going to say, okay, well, become a lawyer then. Become a politician, it pays better. Become a lawyer, it pays better. Who would become doctors? Well, the people who actually care, and sure, that's great because it weeds out a lot of those egotistical people who are just in it for the money. Well, that's great. But then what happens to your quality of health care? You don't have the doctors to support 300 million people.
All right, now
you don't have the hospitals, and you wind up waiting 4 months to visit a doctor.
Okay, I like everything you said, because you get down to the socialized medicine, and it would be nice if everybody had health care.
Yeah.
And that'd be nice. But I tell you what I like what you said, Lonnie, is you split it up into the insurance business and the health care side.
There's not
and they keep having the argument over the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, and Obamacare. That's insurance. And that's why these groups are trying to say your health care, is they're trying to separate.
Well, because everybody's worried about their health care. I would love socialized health care. I would love to go down today, say, hey, doc, I've got a
worked.
Yeah, and great. Socialism is perfect. Marxism, communism is perfect on paper.
On paper.
I would love to be a communist, socialist. I would love it. Everybody gets equal, wealth. Everybody gets equal stuff. Well, great. That's awesome until Brian over here is working his tail off and gets $500 a month. And I'm over here saying, Brian's pretty much got this covered, so I'm gonna take a nap. Well, that's the problem.
Well, that's what you do anyway.
Well, yeah, but that's why I like socialism.
Well, what you say, you can go put this all on paper all day long,
yeah.
But you can't change people, because if
everything is great. Socialism is the perfect society until you put people in it, until humans get involved.
Yeah, and then actually, it's called human nature. You can't change human nature.
Social medicine is the perfect answer to all of your healthcare problems. It is. Until you decide that, hey, I don't want to be a doctor. They get paid minimum wage.
Right, exactly. Okay. Lonnie's millennial view of healthcare. So he wanted to get into the conversation. And actually, I don't disagree with you about the business side of the insurance. Folks, at 8 o'clock, we're going to have our first congressional candidate from the 6th District, and that is Mr. Kurt Wilson will be our guest at 9 o'clock. Did I say 8? At 9 o'clock. Okay, he will be our guest then. I want you to take the time to look at, and I want you to tie together, we're going to get off this subject this morning of the health care, but I want you to tie together the manipulation of the reality that the media is leading the way. Look up moveon.org. They've got a big thing to find your location, find your town hall, and go there. I went to a lot of town hall meetings when Obamacare was being passed by Republicans, and everybody in the room was upset about the same thing. There were no plants in the room, and I'm not saying all these people are plants. I'm just saying, you got moveon.org, you got Save My Care, which is a spinoff of the OFA. They're all together. That's Obama, Hillary. Hillary tweeted out, if you can't take the heat, get out of Congress, okay? Let's see what she said. Yeah, if you can't take the heat, get out of Congress. Obama's behind this. They're trying to save his legacy, the OFA. I want you to start looking up Save My Care and moveon.org, George Soros. So, what do I think? I think they should put George Soros in prison, myself. I really do. I think they should round George Soros up. Now, I'm a states' right guy. I'm going to move on. Let's move on to the next subject. Rex Tillerson, let me go over real quick, okay? Rex Tillerson is going down, this is my opinion, to Mexico to tell Mexico how it's going to work. Now, the media is saying that Rex Tillerson, Secretary of State's headed down to Mexico to meet today to soothe over Donald Trump and what Trump has said. I'm of the opinion that Rex Tillerson is headed down to Mexico, and I think he's going to say it nicely, but I think Rex Tillerson's headed down to Mexico to tell them how it will work. That's my opinion, all right? How does this work? I had something here I wanted to share with you this morning, okay? Mexico will pay for the wall. You understand? Now, Donald Trump's going to CPAC. Mike Pence is going to CPAC. Kellyanne Conway, they're all going down there to CPAC. Steve Bannon, and this week, but ABC, this is ABC, and this is in May of 2016, folks, May of 2016. Obamacare just signs this executive order making it to where states could lose their funding. States could lose their funding if they do not let a child go into the bathroom at a school of the gender they identify with, okay? ABC's talking to Donald Trump. This is a campaign promise. Let's engage that debate right now. This is a transcript. Donald Trump joins us by phone. Mr. Trump, thank you for joining us this morning. What do you think about the directive from an administration on transgender rights? Donald Trump says May of 16th to ABC. Donald Trump says, at that time, candidate Trump, well, I believe it should be state rights. State rights. And I think the state should make the decision. They're more capable of making the decision. I felt that from the beginning. So are you against the administrative's directive, ABC? Trump, I just think it should be states' rights. I think many things actually should be states' rights, but this is a perfect example of it. Folks, that was a campaign promise made on the air May 13th in 2016. Donald Trump, okay, said on Good Morning America, a campaign promise. Trump administration rescinds Obama rule on transgender student bathrooms. February 22nd, 2017, a promise kept. Send it back to the states. If the state you live in, if the state, I'm a states' rights. I believe in states' rights. I cannot stand federal overreach into my state. Now, if my state passes something I don't like, what does Obama say? You got 52, 53 others to pick from. Isn't that what the president said, the former president? So if you don't like, hey, move. It's states. Send it back to the states. So if your state passes something, the president of the United States, Donald Trump's not going to get involved. Trump administration rescinds the bathroom rule there. The Trump administration is rescinding guidance issued by its predecessor on the rights of transgender students to use bathrooms based on the gender with which they identify. The move reverses guidance from the Obama administration publicized in May 2016, which said the federal law known as Title IX protects that right. Okay, so without going into further detail, all right, remember in Fannin County last year when this happened, we found out there was 2 transgender kids in Fannin County, all right, and you have that video ready? All right, now this gentleman's in Fannin County. There was thousands show up, and I just want to play about a minute and a half of the end of this. This is 14 minutes long, but this is Anthony Walden from Fannin County. If you're out there, there was 3,000 people there that night in this little rural county in North Georgia because there was 2 transgender students, and they did not like this, and they did not want these kids going into showers, bathrooms of their choice, birth certificate. Play this. It's just a minute and a half. What I want you to set up, all I want you to see here is the last minute. He's addressing the Board of Education. When he says to the Board of Education, and after he addresses the Board of Education, the crowd erupts, and then I'm there with the camera. I pan just half the audience that night when Donald Trump at the same time is making this promise. Play that video clip.
Unimaginable. We'll never be able to recapture those precious, impressionable minds. I've always been told that if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. In closing, principle and conviction are not based on what we can win. They're based on what is right. Mr. Henson, board members, your decision will outlast your tenure, affecting the minds of thousands of innocent and impressionable children. If your principles are the same as the federal government, then proudly sign your support and tell your daughters, your granddaughters, your sons, and your grandsons how much better your decision has made their lives for the future. But if it is not your values, if it is not your convictions, I ask you to stand and do what's right and let what comes, come. Your friends, these people in this room, your neighbors, these people in this room, your relatives, and the voters of this Fannin County will stand with you to the bitter end. Thank you for having me this time, and thank you for all supporting.
Okay, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. That was a clip. That was just half the audience. They had to do an overflow in the gymnasium. So many people were up there. A promise kept, a campaign promise Donald Trump made, a campaign promise he kept. This is the Department of Justice reeling in. This is just an example, Donald Trump said. An example, the Department of Justice is going to start reeling in these executive overreaches into the states immediately. The Department of Education needs to follow. The EPA needs to also. You're going to see this. You're going to have to stand tough. Do not let these people manipulate you. I told you this is mind control at the worst level with they're trying to create your reality, the media. So, hey, another promise kept. Now, after the break, I'm going to have my guest here, Kurt Wilson. He is a candidate for the 6th Congressional District. We're going to have our guest with us. We'll be talking to him. He wants to talk about term limits. What do you think about term limits? Should they be a constitutional amendment about term limits? That's on the other side. And then at 9:30, we're going to get back into this because I want to talk about Rex Tillerson. Fannin County, obviously. I'll say something about Fannin County. They're always up to something up there. Rex Tillerson, okay? I will talk about that. I want to talk about him in Mexico. Mexico will pay for the wall. I just think he'll pay for the wall. Watch what Donald Trump says at CPAC this weekend. Watch what happens at CPAC this weekend. Let's check. Before we go to our break, we haven't this morning, and we probably should. Let's check the Twitter deck. Okay, this was yesterday. Very, very much enjoyed my tour of the Smithsonian's National Museum of Action. Let's see, that's yesterday. Donald, where's today's? Is Donald sick? I don't see anything on the Twitter feed. It's a concern I have. Folks, what do you think about these town halls? Send me a message, 706-889-9700. 706-889-9700. You can text me, you can send me messages. What do you think? Or you can email me, chief@fetchernews.com. And also, I want you to go research OFA. I've told you that. I want you to research OFA. I want you to research moveon.org, and especially the SaveMyCare.org. And you don't tell me they're not, and don't forget, the clip we played with CNN this morning was framed in a MoveOn.org ACA. This lady says ACA, Affordable Care Act. But what did she say? If you can come up with something better than this, go for it. Don't forget, Republicans, go for it. That's my advice. Lonnie, Katy's going to be 10 o'clock. George is 10:30 with his opinion. I'm trying to think if I have to go somewhere. I had to go up to Fannin County yesterday. I'm trying to think if I have to go somewhere. What's on the list? Hey, approval ratings, the polls. Have you seen the polls? Oh yeah, the polls. Donald Trump is in a terrible mess with these new polls, right? A Quinnipiac poll, Trump approval rating hits a new low. The President Trump's approval rating has slipped to 38%, a new national poll finds. Okay, sorry about that. I can't. I forget to turn the audio off. 38%. According to that, 17-point difference in Trump's approval rating is the worst he's faced in polls since taking office in January. Okay? President Trump's popularity is sinking like a rock. Tim Malloy, the assistant director of polls, said in a statement announcing the finding, sinking like a rock. Who would have thought keeping campaign promises would equal sinking like a rock? Don't forget, the people voted for this guy. I'm going to tell you, you know what? I know there are areas where this guy scares people. I'm sitting, now I know what you're going to say. I'm in North Georgia. I know what you're going to say. Well, look where you're at. But I'm sitting trying to eat my chicken noodle soup yesterday at Ingles, right? I like the chicken noodle soup. I also like the tomato and, no, the tomato Florentine. It's tomato Florentine. So I like the tomato Florentine, the chicken noodle soup. So I'm sitting there, I'm trying to eat my chicken noodle soup. This guy just comes to the table and sits down with me. I'm okay with that. You know, I'm sitting there, the guy just comes, he sits down. I'm so, okay, I'm eating my chicken noodle soup. I don't know you. Can I help you? He looks at me, he does, he sits down, right? I mean, just think about this, right? You know what the guy says? Buddy, I think Trump's doing a pretty good job, don't you? I've never met this guy before. He just sits down. I said, yeah, I think so. He says this. The guy next to me at the other table starts talking about what a great job Trump's doing. He's from Florida. He retired. He moved up. He's up here. Next thing I know, I got 4 people. I'm just trying to eat my chicken noodle soup. There is time in the day. I don't want to talk about Trump. I'm your host, BKP. I'm having too much fun on this job. This is a job. Working for a living. I have our guest candidate. We're going to get serious after this commercial. We'll get very serious. We're going to have an interview about 20-some minutes with this candidate, Kurt Wilson. He is a candidate for the 6th Congressional District to replace Tom Price. There's 18 other candidates in that race, but we're going to focus on him. And every day we're scheduling every day at 9 o'clock with the exception of Fridays, which we're at Blue Jeans Pizza. Oh, a lady comes up to me yesterday. She says to me, I'm at the courthouse, right, Lonnie? She says, are you at the pizza place on Friday? I said, yeah. I don't know her. She's at the court. She said, can I come by and watch and say hello? I said, yeah, come on by. She said, I might come by the pizza place Friday and watch the show. I don't know who she is. Let's go to a break. We'll be back right after these messages with candidate Kurt Wilson. Stay with us. We're having too much fun today. Is there such thing? Lonnie,
It's a new year. New you at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. Ring in the new year with huge deals on a brand new Ford. Right now, get exceptional offers like 0% financing plus a $1,500 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford F-150 XLT. Or get 0% financing plus a $1,000 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford Explorer. Make your resolution a reality during the New Year, New You sales event at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. Home of the Schottenkirk Customer Guarantee. Visit us online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
El Rey in Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey in Ellijay.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia: Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
Okay, we're back, and I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. North Georgia's only live online morning show. And as you know, we like to make sure we get involved in the campaigns to the point that we bring the most information for voters out there, and it's all about you. In doing that, we have 18 candidates in the 6th Congressional District who that would like to replace Tom Price, the new HHS Secretary in the 6th Congressional District of Georgia. 18 candidates. We have with us this morning Mr. Kurt Wilson. Kurt Wilson is he qualified as a Republican as one of the candidates, and he joins us now. Alani, we got him in here. Mr. Wilson, are you with us?
I am. Thank you, Brian. Thanks for having me on this morning. Thank you, sir.
Oh, you're welcome. Now, let me get right into this. Small business owner, have you ever held any political offices, anything like that? Have you ever run for office before?
Brian, I have never run for political office in period. Never run for political office ever before.
Okay, well, why now?
I tell you, it's a couple of reasons. One is that I believe America's at a crossroads. I think that the Spirit has called a lot of us, and I wanted to call more of us, to get involved and be part of changing, first of all, Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. is broken. I think the people of this country know it. I think the people of the 6th Congressional District know it. You know, when I talk to normal, ordinary folks like me and you and just people on the street who are not in politics, they say, you know, it's really broken. Why don't we do something about it? Why can't we do something about it? Why don't we, you know, why don't we do something about this? And why do we keep getting the same results? And so, you know, I really tried to, forgive me, I tried to avoid this process of getting into politics, but I kind of kept getting dragged back into it from the standpoint of conversations and questions that kept coming back to me, especially I really felt like through the discernment process of when we actually got serious about that, which is we've got regular, ordinary people who've had enough, who've been blessed by this country and blessed by the opportunities of the country, and who've had some success, have learned some skill sets where they can go in and know what to do and how to do it and be compelling, have got to get involved in politics and then get back home. And that's why it took me back to the first issue, which is absolutely compelled by, and I want to compel your listeners, which I think most of them already believe this and know this, which my three, you know, when you're in politics, which I've been here for about 60 days, everybody's, what are your 3 things? What are your 3 things? What are your 3 things? I keep hearing this ridiculous question. And the reality is there's not just 3 things for most of us. There are 10 or 12 things that need to be addressed. But let me tell you what my 3 things are from a political perspective, because I keep getting asked that question. My 3 priorities as your congressman is the 6th Congressional District, Georgia, is term limits, and term limits. And the reason I say that, Brian, is because we can't talk about the disaster of a federal deficit of $20 trillion of debt and the potential catastrophic consequences of that to your kids, my kids, and our grandchildren until we get serious about having elected officials, that's congresspeople in the House of Representatives in the United States Senate, are going to go up there and vote the courage of their convictions and get things done and get back home. We can't talk about fixing the federal bureaucracy that stalls private sector job creation, tortures your family, my family, with ridiculous, complicated tax codes, rules, and policies, and keeps bringing more of them. We're not going to get serious about fixing the federal bureaucracy until we get Congress in the House of Representatives, United States Senate, who has the purse strings and has the power. It's the only organization, it's the only body that has the power to actually derail federal bureaucracy. Even the president can do it. The president can nibble around the margins, but the Congress has to do it. And it's time to elect people who have clarity and conviction about getting that done. We can't talk about the disaster, I hate to say it, of healthcare. You know, there was a clear mandate in 2014 and in 2016 to repeal the Affordable Health Care Act, otherwise known as Obamacare. There's a clear mandate, and yet it's still being nibbled at. It's still being discussed. It's still saying, well, we've got to replace it. No, we don't. We don't have to replace 17,000 pieces of bad legislation. We need to repeal it. Then we can. There's a whole set. Yeah, there's a whole construct of issues that we need to be courageous enough as members of Congress to go in and deal with. And there's a ton of things to talk about. You know. Go ahead. Sorry.
No. I mean, I wanted to give you an opportunity to take the time to get several of the points out and let our viewers and listeners hear the direction you're going in your campaign and how you would actually, as a legislator, how you look at things. So let's step back now. Term limits. Let's stay on that just a minute. What about I would call it the argument. I've been to a lot of town halls and campaigns where, you know, the ballot box is the term limits. So you really would call for a constitutional amendment for term limits for Congress and the Senate to parallel with the president?
I absolutely would. Exactly to your point. I'd mirror the 22nd Amendment, which we passed in 1951, which put term limits on the president. We put term limits on the president of 2 4-year consecutive terms. Our proposal is basically do the same thing with the House and the Senate. It's 2 4-year terms for the House, 2 4-year terms for the Senate. There's a lot of detail and reasoning for that. We deconstructed it back, basically going back and looking primarily at the writings of Hamilton and Madison in the 85 Federalist Essays, and began to look at their thinking, because to your point, Brian, you're exactly right. When you look at how they thought of the issue of people serving, is they thought that if you'd asked me this 25 years ago, I'd been ambivalent on the issue, which is, hey, elections are term limits. The reality is, check this out for a staggering fact. I don't know, you and I are probably the same age or close to it. I'm 55, so I still remember the Soviet Union. And I still remember the Soviet Union Politburo, which, you know, and the Politburo was, i.e., the quote-unquote legislative body of the Communist Party. And do you know that we return members of Congress at a higher rate of return than the Communist Party elected members to its Politburo? I mean, think about that for a second. That's telling you something is wickedly wrong with our system. It's telling us that we're not replacing members of Congress in a fresh and energetic way. And the part of that is that something that I think most of us know. We know it intuitively, we know it by fact. And that is that Congress has continued to become an elite political class that serves its own interest and serves the interests of special interest. And it's not representative of the will of the people. There are so many things. You know, I just went through a list of them. I can go through a list of many, many items. You know what? And 70% of us are going to agree on them.
Well, let me ask you a question. Okay, now let's go. You said vote your conviction. So let's get through that. You want term limits. You talked about the debt. You talked about health care, repealing it, and not to put words in your mouth, but you don't say replace because there's 1,000 and some pages that you just don't think need replaced, but you need to repeal this disaster. My words, I don't remember if that's what you said, quote, but vote your conviction. So name some votes. Let's start with the debt. Let's start with the debt. How do you address the debt of this country and maintain a spending level that maintains services and doesn't touch entitlements, the whole third rail? So what do you do about the debt? What do you think about that?
I think, Brian, you're going to find out in this conversation that I don't sound very political. I don't intend to sound political. I intend to sound like a regular person with true beliefs, because when I talk to people, they say things differently than how things get talked in political circles. So let me answer your questions, because there's a lot you have to unpack in each issue, right? So a perfect example is, it sounds simplistic, but, you know, as a business person, you know, one of the first requirements is I have to meet a budget, right? I cannot spend more money than I take in. That sounds incredibly simple, right? Most households are felt with that same consequence, right? If they take on debt, it's burdensome. It's something they have to pay back, and they have to pay back in a definable timetable. That's a very simple construct. That's very definable. It's very easy. So before you get to all the larger arguments of spending, and by the way, to your point, Congress has abdicated its spending requirement, its purse string responsibility, because the federal bureaucracy has gone so strong and so large, and again, Congress is the only organization that could fix it, that basically over 60% of spending falls into entrails, and I use that word intentionally, of the federal bureaucracy. So that online, Congress is only controlling about 36% of spending on its budgetary process every year. That's irresponsible. And is that easy to fix? It takes people making hard decisions. So you talked about the third rail of politics, right? Go back and unpack Medicaid. Go back and unpack Medicare. Go back and unpack Obamacare, right? And you've got two driving forces when you look at the health care debate. You've got Republicans for over 100 years that have been pushing basically monopolization of health care. And you've got Democrats on the left side who've been pressing nationalization of health care. When you go back and look at the legislation over the last 100 years, going all the way back to the Taft administration, it's interesting to see how both sides are party, in my opinion, of not serving the best interest of the American public. Those are hard things to deal with, but you know what? You have to be willing to say, my interest is not getting reelected. My interest is doing the right thing when nobody else is looking. My interest as a congressman, the reason I'm getting in this is because I'm going to talk the same way up in Washington. I'm going to vote the same way in Washington. I'm going to be compelling to talking to other people and other congresspeople of convincing them that they know what the right thing to do is. Let's quit passing this off and kicking the bucket around on one issue after another issue after another issue, and say, these are hard choices. You name the issue, I'll be glad to address it, because I'm not a politician. I'm a regular person running for Congress.
Okay, let's go into a little bit of a segment where we bring some question and answer. Just get it down a little bit. Now, don't take that wrong, sir. I don't mind listening to the answers, but I want to get 3 or 4 questions in here. If elected, you're going to be serving the 6th Congressional District of Georgia, which is obviously taking the place of Congressman Tom Price. But you're going to be going up and serving in a Congress right now that has a Republican president and is setting on what some Americans feel are very controversial issues. So let's go one at a time. Did you support, would you support, and do you think the Ninth Federal Appeals Court was wrong? Do you support the travel ban that Donald Trump put in place, President Trump put in place, or do you support any form of travel ban into this country with excessive vetting?
I think President Trump has been pretty much on mark. I think give you a short answer. I think he's pretty much on mark on the whole piece. Yes,
okay.
I would, and I find, yeah, in the Ninth Circuit Court is a great representation of where we have allowed our judiciary to become activist and not originalist.
Do you think, well, let me ask you a question. If elected, are you going to use Twitter? How will you communicate with the six? Can we get up in the morning and see, Kurt's tweets run us there? Yeah.
I think, great question, because honestly, at 55, I've got a Twitter account. The campaign's got a Twitter account. And so since we have not I don't intuitively use it, it's probably a tool that we need to get up to speed to continue to communicate. You're exactly to your point. You got to find more ways to communicate to people and tell them what you really think. And so they can hear your voice and not the voice of how someone interprets your voice. And I think to President Trump's credit, that's what he does. He continues to communicate a lot. I know I've even had my wife say, man, sometimes I wish you wouldn't tweet so much. Well, you know what? President Trump does what President Trump does, and he doesn't worry about what everybody says. Hey, that's the right thing to do. Hey, that's the wrong thing to do. I can tell you what my introduction here in politics in the last 60 days is. Brian, I've been amazed by all the people that tell you what to do, how to do it, when to do it. It's interesting. A lot of advice comes, and I could see why this game is so tough, because you got so many people. And I'm going to tell you, that's what leadership's all about. Leadership's all about staying true to yourself, staying true to your beliefs, sticking to them even when people disagree with you. Being willing to listen and engage with people, sit down with people because you've got enough courage and knowledge of your own convictions, you can sit down and have a discussion. But you still do what you believe. And I can see in politics how that gets compromised so easily, because the seduction of wanting to get reelected is so tantamount that people keep falling prey to that instead of saying, damn it, that's not what I believe.
All right. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I want to get support build the wall. Do you support building that wall that President Trump wants to start immediately?
I support President Trump's policies on illegal immigration without question. I would say I have a little caveat that I would add to that, and this is in the debate, which I've not heard anywhere in the national debate, and what I'm going to say to you is not popular. So, with the issue of illegal immigration, I think the president has been exactly right on mark. There's one issue. Look, the people that are breaking the law, that's easy, right? They need to be deported. I've seen where the press is beginning to marginalize the president's perspective on that and saying, well, they're just minor infractions of the law. Doesn't matter. They broke the law. They're here illegally. We've got to deal with that. Let me add one caveat that's not going to be very popular, probably on either side of the issue, and that is basically, when we break the law in the United States, we've got a time limit basically before that law can be prosecuted. 7 years, generally speaking, right? I.e. the double, and of course, when you get tried for it and all those pieces. I'm going to suggest a thought. Now, this is a thought maybe for the national debate, that for those families, right, that haven't broken the law, where the kids are grown here, they're fully Americanized, they're Americanized citizens, but the parents are illegal immigrants and they're here illegally, and that they have, once they've passed perhaps the 7-year crescendo, and they have demonstrated that their intent is to be Americans, and they go through a full American naturalization process like a naturalization citizen would be, I would suggest that maybe we look at that small group of people as perhaps, rather than deporting those quote-unquote families that have been here, let's say for 20 years, 15 years, where the kids are 16, 17, 18, that we might look at that process differently, that small group of people. That small group of people, and it's not going to make me very popular, I would say maybe we don't deport. Because they've been here so long, they haven't gone back and forth. They're a small group of people, but there's a lot of good people in that. Now, there needs to be a consequence for them breaking the law, even though it was 10, 15 years ago. And we need to figure out what that's going to be in terms of the penalty. But I think that if they are demonstrating that they want to be here in America, that they truly have, their kids are Americans, and I think deporting them and leaving their kids here is problematic. To that side of the debate, I am actually sympathetic.
All right. What about on that side of the debate? I understand that you're a small business owner. Am I correct? You own restaurants?
Yes, sir. I've got about 250 people that we've been very blessed and fortunate enough to employ. Yes, sir.
Okay. So through the restaurant business, touch on a little bit of healthcare costs, what it's meant to you as a small business owner, what immigration means to you as a small business owner, and do you see the policies that Donald Trump is trying to put in place now a benefit to you if not elected, even as a small business owner? Do you see the benefits in your business where that's concerned?
Well, let's talk again. You know, a lot of people like to micro down issues. I think one of the things that's so important about what President Trump is doing on the issue of illegal immigration. Illegal immigration is first of all, it's about supporting the rule of law. And you go back to so many issues, whether it's the federal bureaucracy, whether it's our tax code, on and on and on, how we keep wanting to legislate more things and not enforce the laws in front of us. So President Trump is, one, absolutely correct to be doubling down on the issue of illegal immigration and making that a cornerstone issue, because it has to do with the rule of law, which is how our society basically works together on an ongoing basis. And we forget that because we keep adding more and more pieces of legislation. The second part of that as a small business person is, look, you got to double down, not only for my small business, but for your small business, medium-sized businesses, you got to double down on legal immigration. Because the reality is right now that American education has been lagging behind and continues to lag behind. It's been lagging behind for almost close to 50 years when you look at the numbers. And it's lagging behind on the quality of the students it puts out in math and sciences. And that's where we're going to need, obviously, everybody knows this, where we need more students to be more proficient in the United States. And so we have to attack education and how we do. And by the way, solutions don't come from Washington, D.C. They come from LJ, Georgia, right? They come from Roswell, Georgia. They come from Sandy Springs, Georgia. They don't come from Washington, D.C. And I think that's part of what this whole debate is. I want people making more decisions for their lives, not the federal government.
All right, I'm jumping around a little bit, but you support a tax cut that the president wants to put in place. Have you looked at his tax plan? Because if you go up there and serve, and I know some things are not real clear on his tax plan, but if you go up there, you're going to be serving in this Congress that may vote on this tax plan. Are you in favor of the tax cuts that President Trump is wanting to put in place?
Brian, I'm going to give you a quick answer, and feel free to fire back at me if I don't answer the question appropriately. The answer to that question is I have looked at the president's tax plan in detail, and the positive news is that it's about tax cuts. The bad news is it follows along the same poor tax policy that we basically had in place since 1913. You know, neither you and I were alive in 1913 when we passed the 16th Amendment, which was 400 pages long, by the way, 400 pages. So I guarantee you that if you go in and ask the normal average citizen, hey, by the way, we just passed a tax code which we're going to start taxing your income on, and it's 400 pages long, most Americans go, huh? What did you do? You can't do that. Are you crazy? Think about that, though. That 400-page tax code is now 76,000 pages long. 76,000 pages long. You've heard this reference before. The Bible's 1,293 pages. Put that in comparison. The U.S. tax code is 76,000 pages. It's an unmanageable monstrosity that must be absolutely done with. So the first thing we need to do, I believe, and this is what I think of ordinary Americans, I believe, once they understand the issues, go, yes, that's what we need to do. First of all, you need to repeal the 16th Amendment. The second part of that, so here's what I would say to the President Trump, who I believe is a man of courage and authenticity, is guess what? Let's get real about the issue of taxation. Now, I think you can have an honest, powerful debate on do you go to a fair tax or do you go to a flat tax? There's a lot of plans on both sides. They both have merits, and I'm not here to argue for either one today, but except to repeal the 16th Amendment and replace our taxation system at the national level with either a flat tax or a fair tax, because both have tremendous merit and they're dramatically better than the tax system we have today. And that would be my only problem with the president's plan. It's continuing to proliferate our current tax code system.
All right, there's really two more things. Let's move it to the 6th district. Let's do that. What is one thing? Because you'll be representing your district, and I know several congressmen throughout the state, Congressman Doug Collins, Congressman Tom Graves, several. And there are district issues. So let's not just talk about Trump and the wall. Let's talk about the 6th district for a minute before we get off here that you would be representing if elected. So what are some of the things that you would focus on in the 6th district and how to represent the people there?
I think, you know, on a practical level, the buzzword is infrastructure, transportation. People live here in Roswell, people live here in Sandy Springs, people live here in Brookhaven, people live here in Alpharetta, people live in Johns Creek, people live here in East Cobb County, Doraville, Tucker, and Chamblee. They all struggle in this area, in the metro Atlanta area, with transportation. And if you look at how Georgia's grown and how the 6 congressional districts Georgia has grown, in contrast even to the vast growth of the United States, we've well outpaced that. So the reality is that transportation continues to be a real issue, and that issue has got to be addressed. And I would challenge that one of the things that we have not been great over the years in terms of the Georgia delegation is representation on the Transportation Committee. So one of the things that I would be advocating is obviously, and that's changed in the last couple of years, it's improved dramatically, but we're behind the curve on that. And so I would say, simply put, I would need to be on the Transportation Committee. But again, I would go back is, you want to solve transportation? Start devolving decision making. Start devolving dollars. Start devolving dollars. So again, go big picture. It's more, the answer is more in limited government. The answer is more in bringing tax dollars back to the lowest common denominator to fix issues. There are a few things that the federal government can be pretty good at. One is perhaps national transportation and infrastructure plans, where those plans are committed, but they quit holding those dollars. Those dollars need to be block granted to states.
All right. So could you commit to the voters that if you go up to Washington, D.C., you will stay away from the Potomac water as far as intake? Will you make that promise to the voters that you will stay away from that water? Just a thought. I mean, I see some of the best go to D.C. Yeah. And as we say, the Potomac water. So could you promise the voters you'll stay away from that water? You know,
let me tell you, Brian, not only do I not stay in the water, I got to tell you, this process is, we're going to win this election. And there's 18 people in it, and I don't know the other 17 people, and I'm sure they're great people. But we're going to win this election.
How would you like to meet? How would you like to meet the other 17? Would you debate your opponents? How would you like to meet the other 17 on a debate stage?
I think you know, one of the things that we miss, we don't have enough of in America, is true discussion and true debate. You can't get with other people enough and talk about the issues, whether you agree or disagree. And certainly political candidates, people running for office, should be in stages, should be in schoolrooms, should be in town halls. They should be with one another, discussing the subjects and debating them openly in front of them.
So you would debate your other 17 candidates?
I think
your opponents?
Not only will I debate them, but I think I'm responsible to debate them. I think we all are.
Because let me tell you something. I would absolutely, I would enjoy moderating that. And I had the opportunity to Dr. Paul Brown, and there was 5 candidates with Congressman Collins, and I had an opportunity to moderate that debate between the 5 of them. We had what I call a true debate, and I'm going to ask every single candidate that comes on if they would be interested in the debate. And I know people are trying to figure out how I would do it, but trust me, if 18 candidates said they would debate, I would figure it out. So I appreciate you very much. This is a series that we're going to do. We have offered all 18 candidates, Mr. Wilson, to be on the show, and we are going to ask every single candidate if they'd be interested in a debate. So just let us know what you got going on out there and some of the things happening, and we'll follow the campaign. Last word to you, 30 seconds.
Well, first of all, thank you. Thanks for allowing me to be on here and be with your audience. It's very kind and gracious of you. You know, the number one thing that this campaign is we're a regular guy. We don't have any name ID. We're not in political circles. So I need your help. I need the help of your listeners. If you think that what we're saying makes sense to you and your families, which I hope it does, I need you to go to www.CurtForCongress. By the way, all of our policies are going to be on the website on Monday, and the policies are detailed and strenuous. You're going to be really surprised. You're going to say, oh my gosh, who writes like that? Normal people do, not politicians. You're going to see that in our policies. So I need your help. I need you to go to Facebook, go to Curt for Congress, like us, support us, communicate for us. Obviously, we need your help in all kinds of ways. We're going to win this thing. We've got 55 days, but it's going to take ordinary citizens like your listeners and like guys like me who are running in this race to turn this country around. It's time to do it. If we don't, what does freedom look like in 20 years? That's my little final piece.
Okay, so that is April 18th is Election Day, correct? Remember,
yes, sir.
April 18th, special election there.
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Wilson, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll be in touch with you. And thank you. You have Katy Sissine is working on this campaign. You're getting emails from her, so she's going to be following up also. Thank you very much. You have a nice day. That is
Brian,
Kurt Wilson. He is a candidate there for the 6th Congressional District. I think we're going to call it East Cobb, North Forsyth, right? North Fulton, right? North Fulton, East Cobb, and I guess West DeKalb there. But anyhow, I'm your host, BKP. We're going to take a brief break and we're going to come back and wrap up our show. We got a lot going on. Got another 30 minutes before the Katy Sissine show and George's opinion. Take us a break, Lonnie.
It's a new year. New you at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. Ring in the new year with huge deals on a brand new Ford. Right now, get exceptional offers like 0% financing plus a $1,500 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford F-150 XLT. Or get 0% financing plus a $1,000 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford Explorer. Make your resolution a reality during the New Year, New You sales event at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper, home of the Schottenkirk Customer Guarantee. Visit us online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
El Rey and LJ.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and LJ.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia, LJ, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
Okay, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. We're North Georgia's only live online morning show, fetchyournews.com, fyntv.com. Okay, now, folks, on Fridays, we broadcast from Blue Jeans Pizza in Blue Ridge. Every Friday morning, 8 a.m., we broadcast from at Blue Jeans Pizza in Blue Ridge. At 8:15 every Friday, we have Ask the Doc. Dr. Whaley is with us, a Georgia cancer specialist. I want to thank them for sponsoring that segment at 8:15 every Friday morning. Ask the Doc. Dr. Whaley's there, so if you have any questions for Dr. Whaley, 706-889-9700. Text those, or chief@fetchyournews.com. Also, we have a 2-hour segment there. Now, you do not have to be on camera. So when I ask you to come by and join us, you don't have to be on camera. I mean, we have the whole pizza place to ourselves. The place is wide open to ourselves. It's the morning. We can have a studio audience. Isn't that crazy? We got a studio audience. You can sit there and watch the show. Come on up to Blue Jeans Pizza and be a part of the studio audience. You do not have to be on camera. I have had people say, well, I'd like to come up there, but I don't want to be on camera. You don't have to. We have the whole pizza place. Okay. Also, we have our all-star panel. Now, on Thursday nights, we start getting the band back together, the all-star panel. If you would like to be a part of it, and let me tell you what it is basically, unless there's something else scheduled, from 9 to 10 o'clock, we do about 45 minutes, sometimes an hour, it's political conversation. You come up if you want to be involved. You do not have to agree with us on the all-star panel, but then again, if you don't agree with us, then I don't know if you can be an all-star, Lonnie. I don't know what I'm thinking. How can you be on the all-star panel if you don't agree with me? Right? I mean, I'm confused on what I just said, and I probably need some clarification in where I'm going with that. Anyhow, come on up and be a part of the All-Star panel. You do not have to have a special invite. If you come up and you're a part of the studio audience, you say, hey, I want to be on the panel. I want to talk about Trump. I want to talk about the wall. I want to talk about health care. I want to talk about Obamacare. I want to talk about term limits. I want to talk about what I'm hearing in congressional races. Come on up and be a part of the All-Star panel. That's Friday at we're at Blue Jeans from 8 to 10. All-Star panel takes off at 9. Okay. What else do I have to remember? Do I have anything else to remember? I mean, I should write it down, right? I mean, if folks say, you know, you could write it down. All right, we have been talking about this for weeks on end, okay? Now, Chuck Schumer, which I still can't understand. I do understand, but Chuck Schumer, GOP will break from Trump within months, okay? This is from The Hill. This was... 2 days ago. This is 2 days ago. I didn't have time to get to Schumer. Senate Minority Leader Chucky Schumer predicted on Tuesday that Republicans will split with President Trump within months unless administration changes course. My prediction is he keeps up on this path within 3-4 months. You're going to see a whole lot of Republicans breaking with him, Schumer said during an interview with ABC on The View. Now, if I had the chalkboard up here, I would put up Schumer's responsibility, the Dems, the Keith Ellisons, the Schumers, the list goes on, Nancy Pelosi. Oh my gosh, she's lost her mind. Poor old lady's lost her mind. She needs to be in a home. I would be putting up their role. I would be putting up the media's role, okay? And then I would be putting up Obama, Hillary, Cheese Pizza Podesta, MoveOn.org, OFA, SaveMyCare.org. I would be putting their role up. Okay? So all three, MoveOn.org and the rest of them, they have their role. The media's in center facilitating their role. They're the marketing arm. They're the marketing arm of all of this. And then you have Chucky Schumer and Nancy Pelosi, they're filling their role. And the polls are right in there. This is intentional. Because here's this new Quinnipiac poll. It's very detailed. I don't want to get into weeds on it. But polls of Trump's approval rating have shown a wide disparity according to data tracked by Real Clear Politics. All right? Now, in this poll, Trump is getting hit. He gets slammed. President Trump's popularity is sinking like a rock. This is Tim Malloy, the assistant director of the poll. His popularity is sinking like a rock, said in a statement announcing the finding. He gets slammed in honesty. Okay, so they call him a liar because he doesn't take the cheat sheet of the teleprompter. He just throws the number out from time to time. Okay, so keeping a campaign promise. We can't report that. But if you say a number and you're 5-6 numbers off, or you're just out there in left field every once in a while. So he's getting slammed in honesty, empathy, level-headedness. Level-headedness. Why level-headedness? Crazy, right? Crazy. The ability, they're asking people now, 30 days in, if the guy's crazy. The ability to unite. And two of his strong points, leadership and intelligence, are sinking to new lows. While he was up there on leadership and intelligence, it's sinking to new lows. This is a terrible survey 1 month in. Why would somebody, as a director of a nonpartisan opinion poll, be making these comments like that? Not surprisingly, the Quinnipiac poll found a strong partisan divide in job approval rating, and 83%, a majority of Republicans approve of the president, while 91% of Democrats disapprove. I'm not going to go too far into that other than the polling, the statistics. I'm telling you to watch the statistics. The statistics are set up to parallel. They're trying to make the guy crazy, and all he's doing is campaign promises. Rex Tillerson, all right? Rex Tillerson tasked with helping soothe tensions in Mexico. Folks, tensions in Mexico. All right. Let's go to the tape. Donald Trump told the truth on the campaign trail, which they're trying to say he lies now, but obviously as he told the truth on the campaign trail, that's what elected him. I don't know if you realize the billions of dollars crossing the border. See, you keep thinking border crossing. You got tunnel vision, or you got wall vision, border crossing. You keep seeing the visual of somebody jump over some wall or swim the Rio Grande or ride a camel or take a train or whatever they're doing to get across. Not a camel, donkey, all right? That would be across the desert over there with the Saudis. They're on the camel. Anyhow, but they're getting across. That's the border. That's what you see, the border. What you don't see is the other thing going across the border. Billions of dollars. They come here, when I say they, that's stereotyping, right? They come here, Hispanics come here, they work, pay a good portion, pay no taxes. I know of what I speak, okay? They pay no taxes. On Friday, they wire cash. They wire cash down to Mexico. Now, you say, well, what? Donald Trump threatened to do it. Donald Trump's new immigration plan boldly declares that Mexico must pay for the border wall. And until they do, the United States will, among other things, impound all remittance payments derived from illegal wages. That's right. They're standing up here. All right, I'm going to step right out there, and you just pay attention to this, and I know this is not going to be popular. Now, you go to any financial institution parking lot, now almost any, okay, just saying, at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 3:30 to 6 o'clock on Friday, and you watch payroll be made in the parking lot. Now, I'm just saying, now maybe not in your area because you're not in a metropolitan area or where there's a lot of Hispanics, but you watch payroll be made in your parking lot of your closest financial institution. The financial institution ain't doing anything wrong. Go in there to cash a check or whatever, okay? That's not there. But you watch the payroll be made in many financial institutions on Friday at 5 o'clock by a lot of honest people, okay? Business owners, don't get that wrong. A lot of people do the payroll in the parking lot, the finance. And then you watch how many of them go over. You go over there Friday and watch the Hispanics line up at that Western Union sending money. Money no taxes have ever been paid on or collected. You want to talk about the debt? I get tired of hearing the debt. I do. If we just collected the tax, in the of the revenue that was being paid to illegals in this country, and they were paying their tax, it'd be a little start. Wouldn't pay the debt, but it'd be a start. Would that even be possible? The Trump administration said, let's see, earlier this year, and this article came out, I want to be clear, this article came out August 19th in 2015, okay? Earlier this year, Mexico's central bank released data indicating Mexicans abroad in your neighborhood, sent home $23.6 billion in 2014 alone. 1 year, $23.6 billion in 1 year alone, almost all of it from the United States. Payments from workers abroad. Bada bing, bada boom, there's the wall, paid for. Now, Tillerson's headed down there, and Tillerson's going to tell Mexico how it works. Now, we want fair trade. Donald Trump says fair. We want fair foreign negotiated deals, whether it be national security deals, whether it be military, trade, you name it. We want fair deals. But Donald Trump is not going to mistreat, but he's going to let people know this is how it works. So I'm of the opinion that Tillerson's headed down there to tell them how it's going to work. And I think Tillerson's going down there to tell them how they can pay for the wall and not embarrass them. And I think Tillerson's getting ready to say, look, you might not think it's a big deal, but the minute $25 billion in 1 year does not cross the border this way, you talk about crossing the border this way. Let me share with you what happens about the border the other way. You keep talking about my wall. Let me tell you the wall I will stop. I will stop $23 billion of American cash being drained out of this country going south of the border. That's what I'll stop. It's 9:51. Let's see. I got Chucky Schumer in there. Okay, I got that. Let me make sure. Donald Trump. Donald Trump vows to cut waste in his first budget. We're going to talk about that tomorrow because I do think he's going to cut waste in this budget. I got the Twitter deck. Rex Tillerson's going down there to tell him how it works.
I got to tell you something.
What do you got to tell me?
I found this thing earlier. You were just talking about the wall and talking about immigration. We're talking about the wall, but that leads into immigration.
Right.
We talked yesterday about the deportation force and everything like that.
Yes.
So I found something online. This guy, I won't name who it was, said, man, I really hope Trump's administration doesn't deport my illegal Dominican ex-wife who happens to live at 485 Lincoln Circle, Louisville, Kentucky, in apartment 4 at the top of the stairs. I sure hope that doesn't happen.
He gave him all the details, right? That's right. Apartment so-and-so, 4th floor, right? Mm-hmm. Here's the address. Folks, Philadelphia soda tax. I didn't get time to go into this. I love this article. A friend sent this to me in the middle of the night last night or sometime, and I read this at 4 a.m. I think I read a little of it last night or yesterday when it was sent, but I read it at 4 a.m. this morning. This is ShopRite. This is a receipt. Okay. The Philadelphia beverage tax. Now keep this. The Propel Water strawberry. You know what Propel Water is, Lonnie? Mm-hmm. All right. It's berry flavored Propel Water. It's $5.99 for this case of water or whatever it is. Okay. It was on sale, so you saved $1. It was $6.99, but it was on sale. You saved $1. It said that. Then it says Philadelphia beverage tax. This is a true receipt. $3.04. The other tax, $72. Balance, $9.75. This beverage company is getting ready to lay off a bunch of people. Sales are down 40%. Philadelphia decided they were going to put a soda tax in place. People are actually having to drive to the burbs to get their Mountain Dew. They're having to head for the hills to get their Mountain Dew, get their Coca-Colas, get their sodas. They're having to drive out of town. Look at that tax. Now, the city of Philadelphia, I don't have time. I read the article. The city of Philadelphia claims that I think it's the city manager claims that this is just the distributors trying to make it look bad. That the tax was intended to come out of their profits. Let's see. I thought I had that. All right. Let's see. Let's see. I was trying to get this. It said that I forget where it was. I wanted to find this. The city intended for it to come out of the taxes to come out of the beverage company's pocket, and they passed it along to their suppliers. I mean, to their stores when they sold the product. Okay, they say the soda tax. I can't find it. It's not jumping out. I don't have my glasses, but it's really they're upset because they did not take the tax on themselves, and so the soda tax, Philadelphia soda tax. Look that up. You'll enjoy that one. Now, what is the amendment you dislike? Is there an amendment that you dislike? And I'm going to give you mine. We were talking earlier. This is my amendment I do not like. I do not like the 17th Amendment to the United States Constitution. The 17th Amendment, I disagree with, to the United States Constitution, establishes the popular election of United States senators by the people of the state. The amendment suspends Article 1, Section 3, Clause 1 and 2 of the Constitution, under which senators, were elected by state legislators. It also alters the procedure for filing vacancies in the Senate, allowing for a state legislature to permit their governor to make a temporary appointment until a special election can be held. Now, you're going to say, well, wait a minute, you don't want the people to pick their senator? Go back and look at the Founding Fathers' intent. This did not come into play till 1913. The amendment was proposed because what happens sometimes is people look at these things, they say, well, what was the Founding Fathers' intent? This was not it, because they were dead and gone. The amendment was proposed by the 62nd Congress in 1912 and adopted in 1913. All right? 1913, this was adopted. I don't like it because it created John McCain. If John McCain was a senator elected by his legislators in his state house, if that seat was there, it wouldn't be John McCain. John McCain wouldn't be rushing out, folks, to find a TV camera so he could talk to Georgia, so he could talk to Minnesota. John McCain would be the senator of Arizona, and he'd be focused on Arizona. When this went into place, and the citizens, I know you may say, it became a popular election for the people to pick the senators, the state senators. That's why there's only two. All right? Representatives, keep in mind, senators is one thing, representatives another. Senators should have never been able to be elected because now, hey, a lot of your state houses would put the people in place, but now these senators think they have all this power, almighty, and they're U.S. senators. That's what they are, but they think they cover the U.S. and not your state. I'm your host, BKP. It's time for the Katy Sissine Show. I'll be back tomorrow morning. Blue Jeans Pizza, 8 o'clock. Come on up and join us. All right? Be in the audience or the all-star panel. Dr. Whaley at 8:45. It's now time for the #1 new show in North Georgia and actually the state of Georgia, maybe in the nation. The Katy Sissine Show, the indoctrination of the American nation. And then after that, Short Takes with George at 10:30. I'll be back tomorrow. Lonnie, take it.
It's a new year. New you at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. Ring in the new year with huge deals on a brand new Ford. Right now, get exceptional offers like 0% financing plus a $1,500 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford F-150 XLT. Or get 0% financing plus a $1,000 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford Explorer. Make your resolution a reality during the New Year, New You sales event at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper, home of the Schottenkirk Customer Guarantee. Visit us online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
El Rey and LJ.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and LJ.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia, LJ, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
Watching the Katy Sissine show addressing the indoctrination of the nation. And we had left off yesterday discussing the press conference where Trump addressed the media, and he addressed the way in which they get information by leaks is illegal, and that there should be classified talks in the White House that are, respectfully kept private. So we were showing a video on this, and I'd like to continue because Trump makes a comparison to Mexico. It's from the press conference, and I'd like to finish up that video so that we can hear what Trump had to say, from these C-SPAN highlights about the media here and how his comparison to Mexico and how the administration's affairs should remain classified.
They never received a phone call. It's all fake news. It's all fake news. The nice thing is I see it starting to turn where people are now looking at the illegal, all right, I think it's very important, the illegal giving out classified information. It was, and let me just tell you, it was given out like so much. I'll give you an example. I called, as you know, Mexico. It was a very, very confidential classified call, but I called Mexico. And in calling Mexico, I figured, oh, well, that's nice. I spoke to the president of Mexico, had a good call. All of a sudden, it's out for the world to see. It's supposed to be secret. It's supposed to be either confidential or classified in that case. Same thing with Australia. All of a sudden, people are finding out exactly what took place. The same thing happened with respect to General Flynn. Everybody saw this. And I'm saying, the first thing I thought of when I heard about it is, how does the press get this information that's classified? How do they do it? You know why? Because it's an illegal process, and the press should be ashamed of themselves. But more importantly, the people that gave out the information to the press should be ashamed of themselves. Really ashamed.
Why did you keep your vice president in the dark for almost 2 weeks?
Because when I looked at the information, I said, I don't think he did anything wrong. If anything, he did something right. He was coming into office. He looked at the information. He said, that's fine. That's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to be, and he didn't just call Russia. He called and spoke to both ways. I think there were 30-some-odd countries. He's doing the job. You know, he was just doing his job. The thing is, he didn't tell our vice president properly, and then he said he didn't remember. So either way, it wasn't very satisfactory to me. And I have somebody that I think will be outstanding for the position, and that also helps, I think, in the making of my decision. But he didn't tell the Vice President of the United States the facts, and then he didn't remember, and that just wasn't acceptable to me. Yes. Okay, Jim?
Sneeze. Excuse me, I just had a sneeze. I could not stop that. So, Lonnie, you can't cut that out, can you? So, if I seem like I was crying, that video is just so touching. I just sneezed. It may or may not be cut out of this episode. I'm not sure. So anyway, Trump really stuck it to the media. He made it clear with the last reporter, the woman that was asking, he brought the conversation back to full circle about Flynn. He made it clear that Flynn was just doing his job, and he compares the Flynn call to his own Mexico call, and affirms that administration classified affairs should remain classified. And why shouldn't they? Just like corporations who have classified affairs as well. Now, when something goes wrong and we see that there's corruption, yes, we need to investigate it. But do we need to infiltrate the communications and just expose everything mid-planning and then potentially ruin the plans? I don't know. That's what happens, though, when people start, thinking of their government as the enemy. And that's not what the conservatives did with Obama, so why are the liberals doing that with Trump? And anyway, let's take a look at Trump's tweet on what he said about the press conference. He says, "Don't believe the mainstream media, what he calls fake news." And he called out CBS, NBC, CNN. He says, "The White House is running very well. I inherited a mess." He had mentioned the Middle East. And he says, "I am in the process of fixing it." And he's being held back. I mean, nobody wants to approve his members of cabinet. There's been so much heat that they've been given also. DeVos, Pompeo, and now Flynn, who's out. And Trump says he also has a great replacement in mind for Flynn. So we should be seeing that unravel shortly. And, maybe it is already unraveling right now. So then we go on to a tweet by Bill Maher. Now, we had talked about Bill Maher earlier this week and his show and how he had Milo Yiannopoulos on the show, or Milo. And Milo, he pointed out that his main concern is free speech and freedom of expression. And Bill Maher, he didn't really know what to say to that. Milo really caught Bill Maher off guard. And Bill Maher was like, well, I can't disagree with you there, because, he's a talk show host. So then Milo tests Bill Maher, and he tries to get Bill Maher to talk about people that he works with. And Bill Maher refused, because Bill Maher isn't granted freedom of speech in his contract with his network that he works with. So it's very well, quite possible that these entertainers are maybe even jealous of Trump. They're jealous that Trump is allowed to say what he wants to say. And so they're attacking him because they can't do that. They want to make it seem wrong to be able to have freedom of speech. But yet Bill Maher said out loud on his show that he couldn't disagree with Milo on the freedom of speech aspect, but yet he has to refuse to speak freely about certain people, probably because of his contract. Well, like 99.9% because of his contract. He didn't say it on the show, but why else would he refuse? Because what is he afraid of? So someone saying, hey, you don't like me, or you think this about me? What is he so afraid of? What is Bill Maher afraid of? By telling the public what he thinks about Sarah Silverman, by telling the public what he thinks about the fellow HBO show host that Milo brought up and asked him to give his opinion about. So I also think it's extremely interesting that right after the show, Bill Maher posts, liberals need to stop taking the bait, which is what Milo Yiannopoulos said on Bill Maher's show. He said that liberals are taking the bait, excuse me, that I sneezed earlier. Liberals are taking the bait. You know, I'm pretty sure that's what Milo said. Taking the bait by people like Bill Maher, by people like Sarah Silverman, by people like anyone you see on Comedy Central, or any comedian you watch on Netflix. Not all of them, but most of them are biased to the left. So I thought it was interesting that Bill Maher posts that. I think that almost proves my point that Bill Maher is really not against the Conservative Party, but he is capitalizing on being against the Conservative Party. And maybe him doing that is safer than someone else doing it. So maybe he kind of locked it down to, I don't know. There's so many ways this could go. I'll let you come to those conclusions. I don't want to get too far out here. So anyway, Chelsea Handler put out an interesting tweet recently as well that we're going to check out. It says, McConnell says he likes what Trump is doing, but not what he's tweeting. He wants a dictator in the streets, but a president in the tweets. Chelsea Handler's known for being very goofy, and she's another entertainer that I feel, you know, she's a lot more convincing than Bill Maher. You know, when Chelsea Handler speaks about politics, I believe her stances. They're a lot more believable than when Bill Maher makes a political stance. I'll give you that. But it's still hard to determine if she truly cares, you know, which way the election goes. It's truly unclear to me. So, and because she makes, you know, she's always making a joke about it. It's hard to take comedians seriously. And it's probably hard for, you know, people in their daily lives to take them seriously as well, because they're just, you know, they're joking around all the time. And I know that Chelsea Handler's still single because I stay tuned into her shows. She's not really too great with relationships. She can come off very rude. So, I mean, it's just silly. I mean, it's funny. So, anyway, we got to take a break. We'll be right back with you. I had fun looking over those tweets with y'all. Stay tuned in, and we'll be right back with the Katy Sissine Show.
It's a new year. New you at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. Ring in the new year with huge deals on a brand new Ford. Right now, get exceptional offers like 0% financing plus a $1,500 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford F-150 XLT. Or get 0% financing plus a $1,000 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford Explorer. Make your resolution a reality during the New Year, New You sales event at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper, home of the Schottenkirk Customer Guarantee. Visit us online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia, Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
Hello, welcome back to the Katy Sissine Show, addressing the indoctrination of the nation. Now, my friend Douglas Cameron was going to be on the show today, but he's had some unexpected emergencies come up, so prayers go out to Douglas Cameron. So I'm going to share some words and a photo of him so we can talk a little bit about the insightful things that Douglas Cameron had to say. He is a performer in the Metro Atlanta area. It's Cameron, C-A-M-E-R-O-N, and he performs in Marietta, Kennesaw, Woodstock areas, and in Atlanta. And he's an excellent singer. He's maybe looking to sing up at the White House this year, so looking forward to that. My best hopes going out to him. So I was talking to Douglas Cameron, about why Trump decided this press conference, why Trump has gotten so fed up with the media, and let's talk about what brought Trump to this point. Well, he's got liberals questioning his mental sanity, and Douglas Cameron brought up a great point that, he's trying to reform things, and he's just getting attacked. Like, people are coming at him like vultures. And let's just talk about one thing that'll make you think, whether you're conservative or you're, a liberal. The U.S. ranks 14th in education. We're #1 in defenses, but we're 14th in education. Now, what does this have to do with Trump being fed up? Well, He put Secretary DeVos in as Secretary of Education to make changes. And Douglas Cameron brought up this point. This is a very valid point. He brings DeVos in to make changes to education because our education is 14th in the world. And we're #1 in defenses. Why is that? Well, something's not working. Something needs to be reformed. So Trump brings in someone who's willing to take those chances to reform in a safe way. After she already has experience in reforming education in a state, he promotes her to reforming education on the national level after what she's learned by operating within a state. And granted, it wasn't a huge success, but there were good results. And everything takes time. And privatizing education, or more so than it is today, is going to take time. And people are so afraid of it. Now, Betsy DeVos has been attacked. They had to up her security, as I explained at the beginning of Monday. She has to have special security now as a member of cabinet because people are attacking her so badly because the media has made her out to be evil. Just like they've made Trump out to be evil. They're demonizing the entire Trump administration, and Trump is sick and tired of it. Of course he is. He's an individual. He's a human. So he's putting people in who want to make positive change where our country, it's completely obvious that our country needs this reform. But despite the facts and despite the truth, they're still against him. They're still against him trying to make positive change in the country. It's like they just need to know the truth. It's like they need to research. You know, in high school, I always thought, you know, why aren't I more educated about current events? And why aren't I more educated in the status of our country? They spent so much time educating us with backwards mentalities and a leftist agenda. They didn't spend any time teaching us about what's really going on. So now we have liberals harassing people that are trying to make positive change in the country because they are misinformed. Anyway, so hopefully we'll get DC on the show next week, Douglas Cameron. You can look him up on Facebook and check out his videos on YouTube, etc. So don't forget that, Douglas Cameron, Cameron. So anyway, I want to move on and talk about the OFA. In addition to Trump being harassed by the press overtly, we have to compare him to Obama and think about how Obama was adored by the media. I mean, he was picked on a little bit, but he was picked on like you pick on your best friend. While Trump is picked on like you pick on, the kid who eats in the bathroom because he is, because people will, sit and throw food at him the whole time and he literally won't be able to eat his food in the cafeteria unless he goes to the bathroom. Trump, the harassment upon Trump is that extreme. Whereas the joke, even the little jokes upon Obama were somewhat minimal. And except for the conspiracy theorists on YouTube that, attack everything and everybody, and they're skeptics of everything because you put out whatever on the internet. So in addition to Trump being attacked by the media, Trump is being shadowed by President Obama through President's organization, OFA, Organizing for Action, run by Obama, seeking to preserve his own legacy. The problem with that is he's not president anymore. He already had a chance to leave his legacy. That was Obamacare. He already tried to be a father to all the children of the nation and take the place of God. But that can't be done because already a God exists. So, anyway, the OFA was set up by Michelle and Barack Obama in 2013. He has been planning this. He knew that a conservative was going to get in the White House. Statistics show after 2 terms in a row of having a Democrat in the seat, there's only about a 30% chance that a liberal is going to be, or a Democrat is going to be in the seat again on a 3rd term of having Democrats in the White House seat. So it was likely that Trump was going to win the race from the get-go. I thought it was because of the statistics and also because of his excellent campaign methods. So Obama has been planning this because he knows and he knew the likelihood, and he knew the likelihood of Clinton running as well. So the OFA is called an organization for community activists, community organizers. It's supposed to promote progressive ideals and, getting people together to oppose Trump and to oppose Trump's agenda. They're basically trying to be what the Tea Party was about 10 years ago and start a huge movement and then take over the White House in maybe another 8 years after Trump gets out and try to get Obama's agenda back to where he left off, which is being dismantled right now, so that's going to be a very difficult task. Obama also advertises, he advertises OSA, he advertises connect.barackobama.org as well. This site connects grassroots activists. I believe it's, an entity of OFA, Organizing for Action. So you can also sign a petition on OFA, pushing about congressional leaders pushing for the repeal of Obamacare. You can sign a petition against that. They're also fighting for other causes that Obama overtly supported. We can take that photo out. It was very clear that Obama is setting up a shadow government, and he's not ready to let go of his presidency, and he's he's extremely adamant on keeping his agenda relevant. So Obama actually has an army. He has an army of agitators of about 32,000 people, and there's a new training summit for agitators in March, and Obama will command his army in a bunker only less than 2 miles from the White House. So as we all know, the media drives the narrative in the country. So it's obvious that you as a citizen are not informed of the dangers of the OFA and of connect.barackobama.org. But it is very dangerous. Obama is not supposed to, is really crossing over the line. He's not supposed to disrespect a new presidential term. We're supposed to have a peaceful transition of power in this nation. Our nation celebrates peaceful transitions of power. So Obama's being also aided in his shadow government by his army of agitators of over 30,000, and he's aided by paid protesters. The media driving that narrative is obviously concealing the truth of these top-down protests, as we've seen how Soros has been concealed, and the funding that he's given to people has been concealed and just recently revealed. So to put it in perspective, the Organizing for Action, the OFA, is Obama, and it's seeking to preserve his legacy. And one of their first attacks is the special election for the U.S. representative of Georgia's 6th Congressional District. And that's the article that I've covered on FetchYourNews.com. If you look up Fetch Your News, 6th District, Katy, Sissine, or just look up Katy, Sissine, 6th District, you'll find the article on Fetch Your News. I detail every single one of the 18 candidates, except for one I could not get information on my article, and give a little intro and outro regarding Price and other issues. So my next topic that I'll be getting into tomorrow, Friday Fun Day, is going to be very interesting, the Denver International Airport. So stay tuned in for that conspiracy. There's a lot of talk that it is a precursor for the New World Order. Now remember, you can follow me on Twitter at katyfyntv.com, and you can also send me emails of questions, concerns, and comments at katy@fetchyournews.com. I want to thank y'all for tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
Well, good morning, sun worshipers. This is George McClellan coming to you from FetcherNews.com, North Georgia's only live online internet talk show. And this is Thursday, what is the date? 24th, 23rd of February. And welcome. I'll tell you what, we just watched Katy Sissine, and she was talking about OFA, Organizing for America. That is Obama's previously known as ACORN, that group to which he... Do you read headlines on the internet or the Drudge Report or any of those other websites? Here's one that's alarming, and I'm sticking with Katy on this story. Republicans turn to the telephones to avoid hostile crowds. That's the headline. Some lawmakers are returning to conference calls with their constituents to avoid the hostile crowds that have greeted Republicans at the town halls across the country. Well, when you turn to conference calls, all you're doing is talking to the choir. Those people are already with you. The message, your message, needs to be, the political message needs to be out on the airways. And so next week I will have one of my short takes. I will put it out, and I call it Stand Your Ground, Stand and Deliver. And it addresses this very problem of who should be on the stage and who shouldn't. But you look at these headlines, and let me, I've done some research and I come up with some data that's rather interesting. Obama's out of the White House. He's done. He is done. Or is he? He did his little vacation. He did his, in Palm Springs playing golf in Rancho Mirage. Oh, by the way, he bought a house in Rancho Mirage. Did you know that? I'm surprised he didn't go to Honolulu again, but that's expensive because now we're not paying for it. But he bought a house in Honolulu. Did you know that? Oh, you didn't. And he has a house still in a gated community in Chicago. You weren't aware that he still had that house? Now he's renting, I think he's renting a house 2 miles from the White House in Washington, D.C., in an upscale district that only 1%ers could possibly afford to live in. How is it that a poor African from Kenya, born in Hawaii, can move into a 1%er neighborhood after being president? Well, anyway, look at the Clintons. Well, I'm getting off my stage here. I can talk about how they have robbed and stole and enriched themselves at our expense for being president. But what if you had, now he's back, he's working out of his house, he's got an office nearby that Michelle apparently runs for Organizing for America. They got 30,000, the count is 525 volunteers around the United States who are showing up at these town halls and being nuisances and obstructionists, yelling and screaming and hollering, and they are abetted by Obama. Obama has brought with him many of his White House team, the administrators and the managers in the White House for the different political entities that he had there, and their job is to ruin Trump's administration. Don't let that thought drop from your mind. They're going to try to ruin Trump. OSA, or OFA, is dedicated to organizing communities for progressive change. Now, haven't we already been through that? And hasn't the American voter swept it away? You would think they would have got the message, but they haven't got the message. They're still out there trying to organize communities for progressive change, meaning they're trying to develop a Marxist revolution. They talk about gun control instead of gun control. Why? Because they want to take my guns away from me so I can't defend myself from them. Never say a word about gun control in the city of Chicago, where the death rate, particularly among blacks, Americans of African descent, is in the hundreds. In the hundreds. They're worried about socialized health care. Obama sees Obamacare gone. It's collapsed of its own weight, but it will have to be gone. They worry about abortion, sexual equality, climate change, and their biggest issue, of course, immigration reform.
We have laws. Trump has simply said he's going to enforce the laws. Here's how we hear it from the press, though. Trump said he would crack down and deport millions of undocumented immigrants. Oh, that heartens my, but I don't remember Trump saying those words, in quotes. What I do remember is he actually said he would enforce the laws, immigration laws, and that's what he's doing. That's exactly what he's doing. And a lot of people are self-deporting, as it is. They're hauling themselves away. And now Mexico is starting to become concerned because they see that this man is going to do exactly what he said he's going to do. Organizing members, OFA members, were propped up by President Obama's comment, his message from the shadows. That's where we get the shadow government. Organizing, and this is quoting Obama, organizing is the building block of everything great we have accomplished. Name one. Make a list. You remember Hillary Clinton was asked when she announced her candidacy, well, what have you accomplished? And she could say nothing. In her 4 years as Secretary of State, she could say nothing. Point to nothing. Nothing happened. Organizers around the country are fighting, I don't know what they're fighting, for change in their communities of Organizing for America as one of the groups on the front lines. They are. We see them now. Another group, Black Lives Matter. That's the shock troops. Commit to and they want these people, they're organizing these groups to commit to the work in 2016 and beyond, to guarantee that they will constantly be harassing Republicans. Constantly harassing Republicans. Of course, they're aided and abetted in this with the mainstream media, but Trump was also right when he said, nobody believes you anymore. And actually, I hear reports, and you probably have heard them too, or read them, that said that the vast net out here, a web of us conservatives who brought Trump in, we're getting a little tired of listening to that crap. Over and over and over and over and over again, every day, some mainstream media pundit telling us how bad Trump is. I don't think it's going to work. I think we're really getting tired of it. And they're losing viewership. CNN, and I might say, CNN has had a mole in their ranks, and today or tomorrow they're going to dump all they can from a year of being inside CNN in the heart of the apparatus, letting us know how Marxist that company really, really has become. The Clinton News Network. I'm looking forward to that. That's stand by. We'll talk more about that on another day. Anyway, writing for the New York Post, a fellow named Paul Sherry says that the Organizing for America is an army of agitators who will fight President Trump at every turn of his presidency, and the ex-president, Obama, will command them from his bunker less than 2 miles from the White House. Sperry writes that the ex-president is setting up a shadow government to sabotage, and I love that word because that's precisely what it is, to sabotage the incoming administration through a network of leftist nonprofits where they can gain money, led by the OFA. It is growing its war chest. They have more than 40 million, plus what George Soros adds to the, that 40 million isn't already part of his, and has some 250 offices nationwide. So those offices are a weak point. Those offices can be protested in front of by Tea Party members, and as long as we know where they're at. The leftist media springs to action. The Twitter sphere lights up with revolutionary social media. Violence follows all, emanating from the ex-president's signal that he is heartened, mind you, by the protests. He's a traitor. Obama is a traitor. He's a traitor to American principles. Absolutely a traitor to American principles. And he is not at all finished with the deconstruction of the United States and the U.S. Constitution. He's spreading discontent through OFA throughout the country, and he oversees the group out of his mansion in Washington, D.C. What is to be done with a person like that? How can a active government, Donald Trump's government, stop that? If he was to take direct executive action, they would be held to pay. But I don't know. It waits to be seen. Somebody took direct executive action one time back in 1963 when they removed a president who got in the way of their plans. That's not Obama style. I mean, that's not Trump's style. That is Obama style. It's certainly the Clinton style. So we'll see what happens. I think this will come to a head. But what our Republicans have got to do is they got to stand their ground, open these town hall meetings, maintain the stage, do not give up the microphone to these screaming people because they're screaming and hollering at you. Michael Moore, the personification of Jabba the Hutt, stands out and he tells everybody that the new protests make the old Tea Party protest look like preschool. Well, let me tell you, the old Tea Parties, the protests, organized, civilized, polite, courteous, and we want everything. And these people, they don't make the Tea Party look like preschoolers. It makes them look like a Mexican prison riot. Put that in your hat and think about that for a while. Think about how this works. Trump issues an immigration executive order. OFA signals for protests and statements from Islamic and pro-immigrant leftist groups. ACLU lawyers file lawsuits in jurisdictions where the judges are Obama's handpicked judges who decide law and not decide the Constitution. Volunteers are called to protest at airports and congressional offices and town hall meetings. The left springs into action, and there we go, we're off and running. Speaking of the end times, do you know there's a biblical entry, as some will bring, I will share it with you. I know that the sun will rise every day from now on, but this has to do with the human species on this earth, not the end of the world. The Apostle Paul wrote in 2 Timothy, chapter 3, verse 1 to 3, "This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come, for men shall be without natural affection, truth breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good." Indeed, I think who picked that one out knows that perilous times are ahead of us. We cannot drop our guard. We simply cannot drop our guard. It's going to be an unusual presidency for Donald Trump. We know that. We see it happening. I do not see Donald Trump weakening. I see him strike back. He will always strike back. He does not stop, and that is good. He's working behind the scenes. Obama is, to set up what he hopes will be an effective shadow government, the purpose being to reinstall a Marxist in the White House. Now, they got a long road to hoe. The Democrats have failed to establish a deep base of leadership. They've got, 36 governors that they can draw from. That's political experience. But there's nobody in Washington, D.C. Nobody's going to vote for Chucky Schumer. Harry Reid's not coming back. He's toast. Nancy Pelosi is turning into a babbling idiot in front of television screens. She can't even pronounce. She doesn't even remember the name of the state that Governor Kasich is coming from, and babbles on and on. This woman is certifiable. The two California female senators are on their way out. They're old, they're ugly, and they're no longer relevant. There is no depth of leadership. Oh, yes, they're looking at Keith Ellison, Keith Ellison, a representative from Wisconsin, he's black. No problem with that. We've had a black president. I'd like to have seen Herman Cain as a black president. These are very positive. Cain was a very positive conservative, but Keith Ellison isn't. He's a Muslim, and he cleaves to the teachings of Louis Farrakhan. In fact, Farrakhan's his imam. So we have problems there, and if the Democrats think they're going to put a Muslim in the driver's seat of the Democrat National Party, they're making a mistake, a big mistake, because the American people are tired of black leadership after 8 years of Obama. He promised everything, delivered nothing but misery, desperation, poverty, and he stole the money right out of our pockets with his Obamacare. Anyway, it's time for a few words from our sponsor. I want to thank you for watching this first section. We'll be back with more. Stand by. See you on the other side.
It's a new year. New you at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. Ring in the new year with huge deals on a brand new Ford. Right now, get exceptional offers like 0% financing plus a $1,500 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford F-150 XLT. Or get 0% financing plus a $1,000 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford Explorer. Make your resolution a reality during the New Year, New You sales event at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper, home of the Schottenkirk Customer Guarantee. Visit us online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia: Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
Well, welcome back, fellow sufferers. George McClellan, AffectionNews.com, North Georgia's only live online internet talk show. I love being here talking with you and discussing some of the issues. I'm going to go through some of the headlines from today. CPAC starts their big conference today up in Baltimore. The president will be there, and most of the members approved by Congress as his secretaries will be there. They will be watching to see if Trump's high-level administration can end the rumors that they don't get along. I think that will end. I think it will come to a screeching halt. Remember, fake news drives it used to drive all of the narrative. Now it only drives half of the narrative, and pretty soon it's going out of business once we learn to recognize what is fake news. But CPAC, a chance for Trump to show a unified White House. It is unified. Who thinks it isn't? Who thinks it isn't? On the Democrat side, they talk impeachment. Impeachment of who? Well, Trump, of course. For what reason? They cannot come up with a reason except he's crazy. Some psychologists who watched him on television have decided and wrote a letter, as I understand, saying that this guy is crazier than a peach orchard boar. Those are my words, but he cannot be the commander-in-chief. I mean, they're going to bring out everything, all the stops they can to drive the impeachment narrative. The problem with that is they better have both houses of Congress, because it's the House that makes the charges and it's the Senate that conducts the trial. And I think next year, 2018, we're going to see more Republicans in the Senate. The Democrat Party is a lost ship. They have no vision, no mission, no leadership. They have nothing. And they certainly have nobody in Congress, either house, and they don't have the presidency. So let's forget that impeachment nonsense for a while. There's just a little Twitter here between the VA, the Veterans Administration, and a split over Trump tweets. The White House, I'll just read a major split has emerged between President Trump's White House And when they say that, they mean President Trump. He's the only one who tweets. And the Department of Veterans Affairs over whether Veterans Affairs employees should be allowed to tweet out anti-Trump messages. Let me tell you what's coming. What is coming is these people who are disloyal and identify themselves as not pulling the team with the team are going to find themselves without a job. The director of the VA, who was a VA employee himself, he's the only one from government that I can think of who has risen to a position out of management in the VA to run in the VA. I don't know much about this fellow, but he's there. He impressed Donald Trump, and Donald Trump put him in charge. The rest of these guys are liable to find themselves without a job, as it should be, like the State Department. Now, obviously, these people were not appointees, but somewhere along the line, this Congress is going to have a law, and it's going to be backed by the Senate, and it's going to go to Donald Trump's desk, allowing the firing of federal employees. Right now, you can't fire them short of death by heart attack. That's it. Why are evangelicals loyal to Donald Trump? Well, they're loyal to him because he's on their side. He believes, and they believe, that he is unabashedly supporting them. So there we are. That's another area that the Democrats are going to have to try to attack to get rid of the evangelicals, bring the blacks, the Americans of African descent, bring them back into the fold, charge the Mexicans up, the Latinos up. Their message is gone. I don't know how they're going to do it. Conservatives must remember conservatism. That's something I talk about all the time, and I want you to remember there are two actually conservative ideas out there. One is a discredited and discarded one that the old elite establishment GOP kept foisting on us year after year after year, but never did anything about it. They refused to act. The other conservative idea is one that's in Trump's hands now, pushed by Tea Parties. Pushed by the Tea Parties. As the Conservative Political Action Conference, CPAC, comes to town, that's today, the right conservative activists, commentators, talk show radio hosts, and Republican politicians should keep actual conversation at the front and center of their minds and not let them go astray. The volume and bombast of the entertainers and the liberal bashers threatens to crowd out conservatism. Yes, that's what's happening in that town halls. That's why the OFA is sending people into the town halls to disrupt. They want that message dead. They don't have one of their own, but they don't want our message out there at all. So there we are. Another fly in the milk glass is the transgender school guideline for using toilets. Let's go back to normal. If you're born equipped one way, that's the bathroom you use. What you have up here is not. After a report that Attorney General Jeff Sessions and Education Secretary Betsy DeVos had a disagreement over removing the protection guidelines President Obama put forth for transgender students, 1/10 of 1% of the populations, and the whole world has got to roll over and play dead for these weirdos. Obama put forth the two came together wanting to do just that. Sessions backed the move. DeVos opposed it. Now, is this a clever scheme by Betsy DeVos to allay the left, who don't like her anyway, kind of put them off guard so they'll kind of support her a little bit? Maybe. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. Remember Steve Harvey? Steve Harvey is a black entertainer. He has a talk show. He's very wealthy. He made a lot of money out of it, an entertainment show. I've watched it a couple of times. And sometimes the contestants actually befuddle this guy, and he's got to stop and think what he's saying. But he had a conference with Donald Trump, and he came out smiling. and affirming that he had a great conference with Donald Trump, and that Donald Trump did exactly what Harvey thought should have been done anyway. Now, Harvey's a black man. He's an American of African descent, television personality. But his so-called friends, and that's his term, his quote, so-called friends, have been giving him a hard time about that meeting he had with Donald Trump. When was it? Last January, I guess. And he says they're just eating me alive. So remember out there, you've got to have a stiff backbone. If you're going to take a stand for or against somebody, you better be able to withstand the heat because it's coming. Well, you can expect this to come. Illinois lawmaker seeks to name a highway after President Obama. And I don't know if it's a broken down highway with potholes or a super freeway, but an Illinois lawmaker is looking to rename 270-mile stretch, well, it's an Interstate 55, as the Barack Obama Expressway. And it runs from I-270 to East St. Louis. So there we go. Obama. Okay. Okay. What about the two-state solution? I think there's not going to be a two-state solution during the next, at least for the next 8 years, maybe 16 years. President Sissine of Egypt had a solution that he presented to Prime Minister Netanyahu and Donald Trump, that Samaria and Judea, part of the West Bank, should not be part of the two-state solution, but he would permit Gaza and a part of the Sinai to be replace those two areas instead. It ain't going to work. Islamics are not going to accept that, but Sisi's at least thinking in the right direction, and it's for those reasons and because of those very ideas that there will never be a two-state solution. The Islam does not want it, cannot have it, and won't be happy about it at all. The immigrant roundup is starting. Interestingly, we hear that the illegals are running around in disarray and confusion and trying to hide, but there's nothing exceptional with what's going on. It's exactly what happened under Obama's term, except the Border Patrol and ICE agents are now on the border, not 100 miles away from it. They do not catch and release. That's gone, and they're enforcing the law exactly as Trump said they would enforce the law. So we have immigrants hiding, fearing capture on any corner. And another ad here before, let me see, not yet here. Let me get this is a little more interesting, but we'll get into it just a little bit and talk about it. No going to church, no going to the store, no doctor's appointment for some, no school for others, no driving, period. You want to have fun? You can buy one of those ICE hats or Border Patrol baseball hats and just walk into the doctor's office and watch how fast it empties out. or an emergency room. They're gone. They're gone. This will make it even happier. It's happening in the Central Valley of California, where undocumented immigrants, undocumented, now that's a nice, easy word. It's illegal. Illegal immigrants pick the fields for survival wages. Actually, only 2% of the immigrants in this country are picking for wages. 2%. Anyway, they leave out a lot of that. Pick fields for survival wages, but are keeping their children home from school. On Staten Island, which is in New York, where fewer day laborers haunt street corners in search of work. In West Phoenix's Isaac School District, where 13 Latino students have dropped out in the past 2 weeks. And in the horse country of northern New Jersey, where one of the many undocumented grooms who muck out the stables is thinking of moving back to Honduras. Well, give him a ticket. Let him pay for it. Let him buy a ticket. No, don't give him a ticket. Let him buy it. If deportation has always been a threat for the 11 million people living in the country illegally, it rarely imperiled those who did not commit serious crimes. But with the Trump administration intent on curbing illegal immigration, 2 memos outlining the federal government's plan to accelerate deportations were released Tuesday, day before yesterday, another step towards making good on the president's signature promise. His campaign pledge, the threat for many, has now begun to distort every movement of theirs. It has driven, sad, one family from the local park where they used to play baseball in the evenings, and young men from a soccer field in Brooklyn where pickup games were once common. Now, if a Caucasian family were to go down there and sit and watch, they'd probably be attacked, assaulted, or something. They wouldn't be invited to play soccer or basketball. So we got a problem. We got a big problem. They do not want to be Americans. It has kept Melly, age 37, who arrived in Los Angeles from El Salvador more than 12 years ago. I guess that 12 years gives her an option on staying. In a state of self-imposed house arrest, refusing to drive, fearing to leave her home, wondering how she will take her younger son, who is autistic, we're paying for that, to the doctor's appointments. I don't want to go to the store anymore, to church. They are looking everywhere, and they know where to find us. You know, Mexico has a very interesting rule. If you and I, as gringos, wanted to live in Mexico, wonderful place, a lot of great places to live, so long as you stay out of the gunfire of the drug gangs. Mexico has a rule that you cannot maintain your U.S. bank account. You have to open a bank account in Mexico. Well, that makes sense. Sure, that makes sense. Why don't we do that here? You cannot go to Western Union and transfer money to Mexico without it coming out of a U.S. bank account. Now, where could that money go that we tax, that is taxed in their U.S. bank account as their earnings? How about building the wall? $23 billion a year flow untaxed from this country to Mexico. That would build the wall. And speaking of building the wall, another point here says that Paul Ryan was on the border the other day inspecting, and you know what the news said? He rode a horse without a safety helmet. He was riding a horse without a safety helmet. Now that's what they focused on. And Paul Ryan has said that he will set about now finding out how to fund it. That was done in 2006. The funding was done in 2006. Let's get on with the damn job, Paul Ryan. Anyway, it's time for a break again and some words from our sponsor. We'll see you on the other side and finish up this week for me. I'll not be here tomorrow.
It's a new year. New you at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. Ring in the new year with huge deals on a brand new Ford. Right now, get exceptional offers like 0% financing plus a $1,500 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford F-150 XLT. Or get 0% financing plus a $1,000 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford Explorer. Make your resolution a reality during the New Year, New You sales event at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper, home of the Schottenkirk Customer Guarantee. Visit us online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia: Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
Well, welcome back, fun lovers. This is George McClellan in our last segment of George's Opinion on FetcherNews.com, North Georgia's only live online internet talk show. I put out one of my short takes. This is the part of the show when I address you about my opinions as I have written them and published them in little one-page blurbs called short takes. And it has to do with anti-Semitism. I call it the Jewish question. The deranged radical left media, looking for any issue they can use to smudge, smear, derail, or destroy President Trump, have almost got their slavish followers, believing that Trump is staging a pogrom against America's Jewish community. Totally made up nonsense. How do they come up with crap like that? We see increasing reports of actual, not fake, but actual attacks against synagogues, Jewish graveyards, and individual Jewish businesses that lie outside the protection of their own community. And it is the so-called neo-Nazi white hate groups who are, without any evidence whatsoever, blamed for those destructions. It is not the Jews who paint swastikas on synagogue walls. That is the radical left's constant meme against the white race. Guilt by association by being white and therefore anti-Semitic. A female Black Lives Matter leader at a Western college just last week offered up the proposition that all white students should be required to wear a distinctive badge on their outer clothing, signifying to other students that they were white and therefore privileged and to be shunned. That is history repeating itself. Nazi Germany did that to the Jews, the yellow Star of David on their outer clothing. That was for ease of identification before rounding them up and sending them to the death camps. The media chooses to ignore the facts that most attacks against religious groups here in America, especially Islam, have proven to have been staged by their own followers to garner a sympathetic response and reinforce claims of racism and Islamophobia, except the Jews. The Jews aren't doing that. The Jews haven't been caught doing that sort of thing, but Muslims have. Islam, which is decidedly anti-Semitic by the teachings of the Quran, can, in their minds, commit about any crime they want so long as it advances Islam. Islam means submission. It is not in the Jewish tradition any more in the Christian tradition to demand anyone's submission to their religion on pain of death. That's only the Muslims do that. In America's big eastern cities, the Orthodox Jews, like the Italians, the Poles, the Germans, the Irish that came before them of the past century, are slowly dissipating into the fabric of American culture. It's not gone by any means, nor should it. Because of all the ethnic groups that have come to this country, it is still only the Orthodox Jews who keep and protect their ancient cultures and traditions. Islam, however, is also attempting to keep and maintain its ancient tradition and culture with a few refinements, like hanging or precipitating homosexuals off the roofs of tall buildings, beheading people who offend Allah, demanding total subservience by their women, honor killings of apostates, and chopping off the hands of thieves. I mean, these guys don't fool around. You gotta be serious. Judaism survives because it has melted quietly into the American fabric, based on its many centuries of experience of anti-Semitism in other countries. They're practiced. Maintaining a low profile helps it to be ignored, but that's not the case with Islam, whose advocates come screaming at us, bearing knives, Allahu Akbar, demanding we accept their ideologies on danger of being labeled Islamophobic, racist, or being hacked to death on the spot or gang bludgeoned into submission. What a lovely religion of peace Islam is. Well, thank God for Donald Trump. His daughter, Ivanka, converted to Judaism when she married, and her 3 children will be raised in the Jewish faith. That's the end of the argument against Trump. He's not anti-Semitic. Trump also ended Obama's slavish devotion to Islam in the White House. Obama's rules of 15 minutes of silence whenever the call to prayer was made. His special place for Muslims in the White House to pray undisturbed, so there must have been a lot of them. Our history. America is not Muslim. But until we recognize the invasion for what it is, that prospect lingers as a potential tourism. We are in danger. So, remember, freedom is the goal. The Constitution is the way. That is my comment for that. The Jewish question. I don't know why I could call it something else, I suppose, but there we are. And I want to discuss with you one other thing and because it's in the news right now, I want to read I put it out this morning, yesterday morning, I think. The Democrats are in disarray. They have no leadership, as I've said, no depth, no vision, nothing but a vast pool of protesters who, without guidance, would be useless. The Democrats are now, we see, are attempting to push a revival of the grassroots, hoping to reinvigorate its members to come back from the dead and reclaim their rightful role of governing. We hear their efforts are designed in the Tea Party model that brought us the House in 2012 and the Senate in 2014, as well as the executive in 2016. Michael Moore is apparently in charge of that, he thinks. Will they succeed? I don't count on it. The motivations energizing both efforts, the conservative Tea Parties and the riotous Democrats, are entirely different. The only thing that compares between the two is the necessity of winning seats in local elections, and for that, the Democrats need a message as well as a candidate. The Tea Party conservatives, since Obama, lost nothing and gained everything. The feckless Republicans gladly claimed the victory is theirs, except they lacked the courage to pursue it, to accept the leadership and move forward. The Democrats, on the other hand, lost all, especially their message, but they continued to behave and act like they're still in charge. Democrats think they can speak using the same words the Tea Party used in 2009 when Obama's liberal agenda really alarmed Americans. The Democrat Party, having long ago abandoned their American identity, have displayed no such concern for that. But indeed, they still encourage a push to socialism with programs contrary to the Constitution and the rule of law, which further alarmed Americans. From that deep concern about possibly losing our constitutional republic to socialism, and government requiring more and more of our tax dollars to sustain their odious giveaway programs to unions, to the false gods of cheap energy, and to foreign entities, the Tea Party, which means taxed enough already, sprung up like daffodils in spring and started challenging those politicians who supported those alien and expensive un-American ideas of Democrat and Republican alike, and the elite, the establishment. After the first cycle of the last Democrat Congress, the Tea Party snatched the House of Representatives from Democrat hands and placed it in Republican hands. But conditioned by decades of subservience to Democrat agendas, the Republicans didn't know how to handle it. They didn't know what to do with it. 2 years later, the Tea Party gave Republicans the Senate, and they still were fearful of offending the agenda setters. By this time, seeing the Tea Party's successes, more and more grassroots conservative voters climbed on board with their effort, their money, and their enthusiasm. And what did we get? Donald Trump. That left only the executive, still in the hands of a buffoon, a grand muftee with grand ideas, polished oratorical skills, but a forked tongue, leading from behind, displaying no leadership. Obama allowed America to slip noisily into a third world position, losing its political and military leadership in Asia, its voice in the Middle East, and its honor in the Baltic states and Eastern Europe. Trashing the tight compact with Israel, Obama, still without leadership but laden with hatred, left the door wide open to world Islamic terrorism. Thank you, Mr. Obama. The only thing left for their hopes of keeping the presidency and their great dream of having it all was with a flawed candidate encumbered by crime, bribery, and poor health. Their biggest problem being able to muster the electoral votes to change the American scene forever. The Tea Party were having none of that. And after a grueling campaign against establishment corruption, Democrat and Republican alike, a charismatic candidate complete with business acumen, management skills, but a virtual novice to politics, did the impossible. Now is the time for Republicans to fish or cut bait. Donald Trump, not beholden to any outside source, including Republicans, is driving the bus. Those who want to go with him, get aboard. Those who don't, get the hell out of the way. Remember, freedom is the goal. The Constitution is the way. Now go get them. And that wraps up my hour on FetchYourNews.com. I hope that I've touched a few nerve out there and make you at least do some research on your own and get busy. But remember, we cannot stand back because we want it all and let the Democrats come in here and trash it at will. So, goodbye. We'll see you Monday. I'll be back Monday. Have a good day. Have a better weekend. Go out and ride your motorcycle. It's going to be beautiful out there. Take us out of here, Lonnie.